and gentlemen, welcome to the Top Rope Renegades This Week in Wrestling podcast episode number 31. My name is Kurt. That is RK, and we are excited to talk to you hot off the heels of Survivor Series War Games in Vancouver, British Columbia. RK, we were live for the reactions. If you want to go see how we reacted to a majority of the match, we had a good time. We went live. We had one. Really, Zach and Batesy, good friends, hanging out. But it was fun. If you're going back and watching that, leave some comments and enjoy that video. But first things first, of course, as always, RK, how are you doing, my friend?
It's Sunday. It's Top Rope Renegades episode 31. We are a week behind schedule, but last week was busy. But here we're back today. We're back with the weekly show. Kurt's got a CM Punk shirt on. I've ordered stuff, but I'm not getting it because Canada Post is on strike. I took up Death Stranding again. I don't know if you know that game, but it's Hideo Kojima. Anyways, nonetheless, the whole game is pretty much you're delivering packages. So I picked it up just so, if Canada Post asks for replacement mail carriers, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You're trained and ready. I never got into that game, honestly.
Great game.
It's
very psychological.
I've been hooked back on Red Dead Redemption 2. That's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm playing it again, and I'm just trying to do get the legendary satchel and all that crap. But for right now, just having fun with it. Besides that, Survivor Series War Games took place yesterday. We'll get into the recap, the reactions, and the conversation about what happened at Survivor Series and RK's news. I'm sure we'll have some updates coming out of Survivor Series, updates from around the wrestling industry, as well as your normal recaps. Monday Night Raw, NXT on Tuesday, something happened probably on Dynamite, and Friday Night SmackDown. Other than that, I think there's nothing else to talk about except for it's time to get into everybody's favorite segment. It's the news, the rumors, the innuendo, brought to you by the Top Rope Renegades, circulated through all the various sites by Mr. RK himself, and I get the astute honor of reading the headlines. So here we go. All Elite Wrestling AEW Grand Slam, which was set to take place February 15th, 2025 at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, has now been relocated to the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Due to low ticket sales, up to this point, AEW was forced to move from the 52,500 seat Suncorp Stadium to the 13,601 seat Entertainment Center. More on this story from RK on page 7 if you get the newsletter, but we have RK here right now, so more on this from RK himself. What do you got?
So, and this isn't going to be just a straight up hit piece, but right now Tony Khan looks like a fucking idiot for doing this. He sat there and said, yeah, we're going to go hold a stadium show in another country when we can barely fill our arenas in our own country where we are actually quote unquote popular. Their all in show last year in London didn't even draw 50,000 people. So for them to think that they'd even come close to 50,000 people in Australia is wild. If they're thinking because off the success of WWE's pulling in 52,590 people for Elimination Chamber in Perth, well, that's because WWE is actually a good wrestling company. And AEW was there at one point too. They were pulling in huge numbers over in London and everything, and they've died. I read an article recently of a guy defending AEW, and all the numbers he was pulling up were from like 2022, 2023. And all the chat, all the AEW neckbeards were like, oh, yeah, see, everybody bashing on AEW, but look at those numbers. And I just had to respond with, like, show me some fucking numbers from this year, please, because
we're not going to argue with the fans from the past, by the way. We agree. You just said it. They were doing really well. But where are we now?
So anyways, why Tony Khan looks like an idiot for doing this is because he overshot. He fucked up royally. It's reported that only about 10,000 tickets have been sold. And he's moving to a smaller venue. And that's not in itself a problem. Hell, had he booked the Brisbane Entertainment Centre off the hop and they sold it out, that's a good story. Look, we went overseas to a country we hadn't been in before. We sold 13,601 tickets. That's a success story. But now it's like, oh, you had to change venues because you fucked up. It's not a good look. They should have just went straight to the smaller stadium for see if they have the interest in Australia first, and then the following year go bigger. Tony Khan just shoots random shit out there and hope it works. And if it doesn't, it's just like you just come out looking like an idiot. And it's not looking good for AEW right now. It just continues. It's things like this every other day that come out that just makes them look like not a legitimate wrestling company.
They're always in the headline with something going on.
Honestly, I can understand why he's probably a little hesitant in booking smaller venues because it'll probably, remind all the AEW neckbeards of high school and gym class and being picked last. So I get it, but you got to start somewhere
to me. All right. Tune in more at 10 o'clock for the hit piece that just transpired there. We should call this segment. We should call the news segment not the news rumors and innuendo segment. We should just call it the hit piece with RK. That's the new. It's the new news segment here. We'll get it here. The next headline. This is WWE. It's reported that the 70,000 seat Lucas Oil Stadium right here in Indianapolis, Indiana, is nearing a sellout already for the 2025 Royal Rumble. More tickets could be made available as demand grows.
See what I did there? See what I did there?
What'd you do?
AEW can't sell tickets.
WWE can. Look at you. Look at you. And demand will grow. I know we hit on the.
So obviously they don't have all 70,000 seats, that's for their basketball setup. But nonetheless, they obviously don't have all those seats open, but they can change the stage design and open up more seats, which they have done in the past.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I know we hit on the fact that talent was kind of getting irritated because they couldn't get to comp tickets. Comp tickets are becoming unavailable because of the amount of people.
On that. Yeah,
the amount of people that want to go see WWE live in person, and the Royal Rumble is one of the big 4 pay-per-views. So of course people are going to show out, myself included. We're going to see as we get closer. I'm gonna wait to see where tickets look about the week before, maybe the day of. Honestly, just to get in the
day building. Before, day of tickets. You always find tickets, guaranteed.
I know I got a good parking spot down at Monument Circle. So
the day before Survivor Series, I went on StubHub and took a look, and I could have gotten a mid-bowl ticket for like $300. So
it's not terrible. Sucks you couldn't go, but we had a good time on the live and all that goodness. And if I can't make it to Royal Rumble, guess what? We'll be live for the Royal Rumble.
And if he does make it, I will be live for the Royal Rumble because I will sit here and watch it with y'all.
Yeah, and then I'll have my phone. I'll pop in here and there. I'll pop in. I don't know. Can we get in trouble? Yeah, I know. Wi-Fi's. I'm not going to be able to get signal.
Your cell service would be shit too because there's 70,000 people packed in there.
We'll give it a shot though. If I'm in attendance. Next. Oh,
I don't think you would get in trouble. By the way, I honestly don't think you would. I don't think we would with YouTube. You're there. You're live.
Right. I think I could do my.
You can FaceTime yourself. I don't see what. I don't think you could.
I don't think I can show this though. I can't show the match. I can't show the match. All right. Up next, this was a very interesting story. GCW star Effie has pissed off Tony Khan during a podcast, dude. So bad that now Ricky Starks has been removed from any upcoming appearances in GCW. This is a quote from Effie saying, GCW can't run on a $40 million deficit. Brett, the owner of GCW, doesn't have a dad who pays him to stay away. Effie really...
Those exact words.
Yeah, he did say that. That's not us having some fun here. Yeah, he didn't hesitate. He said that with his chest. And a very interesting week for Ricky Starks as a whole. That situation, he was on Chris Van Fleet's podcast and had a couple statements on that episode, which I don't know if RK's gotten the news or not, but okay. And then we'll get into that. Ricky Starks had himself a week, man. And Tony Khan, I just want to say, I'll let you get into the news, but with Ricky Starks and Ray Phoenix, and I'd say this if Triple H did the same thing. So I'm not just being a WWE homer here. And I would. If you have a superstar that's going to leave and you're not going to use them at all, their contract's coming to an end, and you add a year to it just to have them sit on the sidelines, that's very
You
childish.
see, that's why Tony Khan runs deficits, because he's paying wrestling stars to do nothing.
Yeah. So I think it's I think it's stupid. I think it's childish. Let them
It's bad
go.
business.
It's
bad
terrible business. It's terrible business, and I got a
I have an
feeling
employee in my company, and I go, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to send you to work this week, but I'm going to pay you anyways." I'd be stupid.
Yeah, no, it's terrible business, and I got a feeling when Ricky Starks is officially out of AEW, he's going to have some things to say. And I'd be more than interested to hear it. Other than that, that is the headlines from this week in wrestling's news, rumors, and innuendo. Sorry, scratch that. This is this week's headlines from the hit piece here on Top Rope Renegades.
Maybe I'll make a Hitman, like video game inspired video for the start of the news, and it'll just be like the sniper reticles going over Tony Khan and just
no.
Is that wrong?
We can't do.
If it's video game. Video game.
No.
We can do whatever we want.
No. No. Go ahead with the news. No.
No blood will be shown.
No. It's a terrible idea, because I'm seeing that picture right there and a reticle go over his face like that, and I'm like, no, that's just not a good idea.
Stay tuned to next week on This Week in Wrestling when we get canceled.
I won't run it. What do you got in the news?
Don't worry, we can just get Joe Biden to pardon us.
And,
anyways, into the news.
Real quick. We won't have a ratings update. We don't have the full ratings out because of the Thanksgiving holiday, so there's no point in talking about.
AEW's got to find a way to doctor the numbers. So they told the press.
It's just like the American election. We're just still waiting. Anyway.
Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander were the talk of the locker room after their match at Full Gear. They received a lot of praise for what they did together. I don't know about you, Kurt, but I went and watched this match because I've heard so much shit about it. And yes, they did put on a fantastic match.
Okay, good. I didn't go back and watch it. I have stayed true to not watching any AEW. Even if I was told it was good, I just can't bring myself to do it. I feel like I will lose my mind. Just fair. Because
great match,
I feel like I would watch that match and it would give me hope, and then the match after that would go.
Yeah, no, you can't have hope. You just gotta treat it like you saw an ex-girlfriend and you were happy for a second, then you.
What do they say in Ted Lasso? It's the hope that kills you. So,
Adam Copeland has been cleared for physical in-ring activity, but he won't return to AEW until he's finished filming for Percy Jackson and the Olympians' second season. That's expected to conclude come January. So roughly around January, it is reported Adam Copeland will be back for at least training in ring. I don't know if he'll be back right away, but I would imagine to see Adam Copeland back on TV within the next 3 to 6 months. So
I wish there was a way to get something done next year for him to show up during John Cena's final run. I really, really do.
Well, I mean, WWE did just recently re-trademark Edge, so
there's always hope, I guess.
Eric Bischoff on the Wrestling Shoot Interviews podcast said he's heard one of the projects Vince McMahon wants to do with his new entertainment company will give his perspective on the Monday Night Wars. For his part, Bischoff says he thinks the project could be fascinating, but worries McMahon is tackling a subject that's been done to death already.
Damn it. You know what it feels like to me now is Vince McMahon is stuck in the past. He's just stuck clinging on to the past of what was. And that's what we're doing now. We're going to go back and revisit something that's been revisited a million times. Yep. Now, I'm not saying it won't be interesting if it's just a different insight, but I feel like we've heard everything we can hear about from the Monday Night Wars. Right?
Unless he has like stuff that he knows that nobody could possibly know about it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but I mean, Jesus, we've heard a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't give it a listen.
I'd watch
I'll
it.
watch.
I'd watch it.
But I mean, if it's just going to be recycled information that we already know, it's going to be like, all right, well, I know that.
Honestly, I'll watch anything on wrestling. If it's been beaten to death, I'll watch it.
But yeah, and I actually can agree with you that when it comes to the Monday Night Wars, I'm still fascinated by it. I will always be fascinated by it. But anyway,
Like one of the best in the last year has been Who Killed WCW.
which I still haven't watched yet.
Great, fucking great,
My
fantastic.
favorite thing, I fell asleep watching this like every night. Like it was my throw it on, watch until I was so tired I fell asleep. Kept it going. Was the Monday Night Wars on it was on the WWE Network forever, where they just went through certain episodes. I thought that was pretty good.
Bet Online's first odds to win the Men's Royal Rumble next February have John Cena as the favorite.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
You said that yesterday you thought John Cena was going to win. I was like, fuck no.
No, that's not what I said.
Pretty sure.
No. We can, and the fact that there's video proof, we can go back and watch. I said Braun Breaker.
Almost. Did you? No, you didn't say Braun Breaker.
Swear to God, I did. Hand on the Bible, I will let you go about the news. I will go pull up that YouTube video.
Go fucking find it. I mean, you don't have to find it now, but find it to prove me wrong later, not on screen. I'll admit that you proved me wrong next week. CM Punk returning as the 5th member of the OG Bloodline at Survivor Series was always the plan. So, the reason I bring this up
you
is...
shut your mouth, RK. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who's your in? Who's your guy? It was always planned, and RK knew it all of a sudden. Who's your guy? Who do you know on the inside?
Can I fucking continue?
No. I want answers. Because for some reason, you're just out of... Because just as RK is just out of nowhere predicting everything right, left, and right. And it's like, who do you know?
I'm not revealing my sources.
All I'll say, I'll continue.
I called it like
all I'll say is
month and a half in advance.
RK has turned into what Dave Meltzer thinks he is.
Anyways, the reason I bring this up is Vince Russo. Vince Russo. Fuck, there's so many Vinces, but Vince Russo is the right one this time, bro. He went on a little rant on his podcast saying that CM Punk was the wrong choice for the 5th member, that it was Seth Rollins in the last minute that pivoted because of something that he said on a podcast the prior week and all this shit. And I just brought this up because it was well known within the wrestling industry, insiders of WWE, the executives, it was always going to be CM Punk's return.
What's funny is I saw a tweet from Russo after War Games ended, and he was like, that was amazing. See, I don't always hate WWE. Okay, Vince. All right. Just flip, flop.
CM Punk continues to receive high marks regarding how he's been since his return to WWE last year. I saw some clips earlier today of the press conference that I had to go to bed last night after the show because I was so tired. When I got home from work today and started working on the stuff for the show tonight, I watched the press conference, and Jay and CM Punk were fucking hilarious.
Oh, I did see these
hilarious clips. Fucking CM Punk with the donuts. They get a box, and there's like 2 macaroons left it in. They're like, what the fuck's this shit? I'm sure Jay looked drunk again. He was back to doing Jay thing like Jay and Cody did in the press conference for.
Do you feel us?
Yeah.
Do you feel him, sir?
Do you feel him, sir? And CM Punk, there's one moment where he was given that box of pastries, which ended up being 2 cookies. But the way his eyes looked, he's just like, ooh. And he made an outside reference to his AEW press conference when he was talking about the muffins from the bakery in Chicago there. And then he kind of just he seemed drunk too, actually. But great press conference. I kind of mad that we missed it, but I watched some of it today, and it was Jay and CM Punk's just looking like he's having the time of his life right now. He's so happy to be back, and of course he's on his best behavior, and I don't think he's really having to try though. I think it's just he belongs there. That's where CM Punk has always belonged, is the WWE, and it's unfortunate that he had to leave the company in the first place due to Vince McMahon.
Yeah. I mean, hey, what is the saying? Sometimes if you love something, you got to let it go. And if it's meant to be, it'll find its way back to you.
I'm just so happy that because I'm a huge CM Punk. CM Punk saved wrestling for me in a sense because
That's fair.
I'm just so happy to know that as it looks right now, CM Punk's going to be with the company for a long time.
He's not going anywhere. When he's done in ring, he's going to be around. He's not going anywhere.
It has been rumored that Oba Femi has not been backstage at NXT since Halloween Havoc. Of course, there were the rumors that he was getting called up, but that never happened. So he has just not been around.
Maybe he's just taking a vacation.
Maybe, but there's no reasoning. Nobody's said anything internally of why he hasn't been there. So
and you know what? They don't have to.
No, they don't. It is believed that CM Punk will not further a story with the Bloodline moving forward, but the quartet of Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy will continue on with the storyline into, at very least, the Royal Rumble next year.
Okay. I have a lot of questions coming out of Survivor Series, and I can't wait for SmackDown. Because you say that, and now it makes me go, "Fuck! What happens to Solo in that Bloodline now?" You know, that's
after the show went off air. Apparently, the Bloodline, Solo Bloodline, abandoned him in the ring.
Oh, okay.
They just left him.
Interesting. I'm looking for SmackDown, and obviously, yeah, I need Roman and Punk. We got to see what's going on with that. That's gotta,
I think Punk's going to be dealing with a certain Seth Rollins for the next few months.
Yeah, I think that's the Mania match to make. If that's for the title, I don't know.
But I think this Paul Heyman favor, it's not going to appear instantly, but I think, down the line next year sometime, it's just going to come back out of nowhere.
We are not going to know until we know when it's happening. That's where we're going to go, oh, that's the favor. We're not going to know what the favor is, even though I really want to know what the favor is.
It is reported that WWE will vacate the Women's Tag Team Championships due to Jade Cargill's injury. How that will look moving forward, whether they'll have a tournament, how they figure out the next Tag Team Champions will be, but it's just going to be vacated, and that's all the news on it right now.
A part of me feels like you can get rid of them now. Or send them back to NXT.
Yeah,
because
that's the only news on it, is that they're just going to be vacated. So
because with 2 mid-card women's titles being announced, that's really good, and it gives the women something else to deal with. I understand there's a few teams out there of women, but not a lot. You could almost better serve the women's tag titles in NXT.
I don't know about that, because the amount of talent to make all 4 titles now relevant, you're gonna have to start bringing up some of those women.
Well, yeah, I mean, my thinking was if you put the tag titles down to the NXT for a bit, why not? But
we'll see.
I
don't think so. I think a lot of the higher end talent in NXT women's division is going to be coming up soon, because those 4 titles, they're going to need to be showcased.
Yeah.
Yes, so Ricky Starks. It is reported that AEW picked up a 1-year company option extension on Ricky Starks' contract this past spring, which means he is signed until at least spring of 2025. With that being said, Ricky Starks has not been used since he's had that contract extension. So that was the spring. So we're looking at almost 9 months now. And that just makes Tony Khan look like a bitch.
It does. And I thought, and I could be wrong here, when they have that opportunity to pick up an option, is that in the contract? Is that based off injury?
It's like baseball. It's like baseball. You can have
it's a team
option or a player option. They had a team option on him.
I wasn't sure, because I know that there's been times where they've said we've extended the length of the contract due to injury reasons. And I was
this was due to an option they had.
Okay, because Ricky said he was never hurt. He's never been hurt. He had a little stinger after his last match, but that's it.
In his contract, there was an option. But that was the company option to extend it by another year if they wanted to.
And that was in spring, so okay.
So until March, at least, he's with AEW.
Okay. All right.
Penta's contract expires next week, and barring some unforeseen changes, he will become a free agent in the wrestling world.
I did read a report. I saw Sean Ross Sapp today tweeted he's officially a free agent now. Possibly.
Yeah, it's Sean Ross Sapp. So
yeah, it's
take
true.
it as
He's
you will.
turned into a bitch.
Multiple ideas have been pitched for Big E's involvement in the New Day's 10-year anniversary at Monday Night Raw tomorrow. All we know for sure is that Big E's going to be involved in it one way or another. But with what happened last week, it's going to be interesting.
Ooh, it's going to be an interesting segment on Monday Night Raw. That's for damn sure.
Honestly, I wish they could figure out how to get Paige back for a night.
Stop. that would be crazy. That would be insane.
Kofi's like, hey, I brought somebody for the 10-year anniversary. Paige.
Oh, hey, how you been?
Netflix will hold a big. This is the first I literally heard of this, and I just read it today. Netflix will hold a big event for WWE on December 3rd, which is Tuesday. With Cody Rhodes, the Bloodline, and Liv Morgan are all expected to attend. What's more is WWE has been working on creative for the event already.
Okay, is it gonna be on Netflix?
No fucking clue.
YouTube
Netflix hasn't announced anything.
And that's when Tuesday. You said Tuesday?
December 3rd, Tuesday.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Maybe it'll just be like a surprise Netflix thing, or it'll be a YouTube thing in like a couple weeks. But yeah. Anyways, creative discussions are now underway for the return of Drew McIntyre.
He got himself a much needed vacation.
He did. He deserved
it. Deserved, not needed.
So here's where things are interesting. 3 possible stories, 3 possible ideas of what's going on. Jade Cargill is reportedly out with a neck injury for 3 months in the best case scenario. Could be nearly a year in the worst case scenario.
See, I've heard
that was reported. And then PW Insider claims that despite reportings stating otherwise, Jade Cargill's injury angle was just that, an angle, and she's not actually injured. And then Wrestling Observer has come out and said a third possibility is that the injury was created to cover for a political backstage issue.
Okay.
So right now there's a lot of question marks with Jade Cargill and what's going on.
Okay, well, I'm leaning more so now that she's not hurt.
Now, well, 2 out of the 3 say that she's not hurt.
Right. So that,
and there have been the multiple reports from multiple sources saying that Jade Cargill does not get along with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
We'll see where this goes, I guess. I don't know.
It's interesting. I'm saying not a big loss if she's done.
No, anyways, it's not.
It's not. What has she done?
The hype that came in, she's not lived up to the hype. I can admit that. They've booked her better, but if
that's all you can do with her, what's the fucking point of her being this big fucking name?
Yep. So carry on.
WWE is limiting comp tickets for talent due to the high demand for shows. New system is in place whereby wrestlers can get pre-sale codes before the pre-sale for family and friends to buy tickets, and some requests for comps are still being granted. Both the new system and WWE's poor communication about it have caused some frustration with the members of the roster. That's according to Fightful Select. I think Fightful Select is just trying to make a bigger story out of it than is necessary. Yeah. I think the talent might be upset, but I mean, it is what it is. They just weren't informed how it works. It's like, you guys can still get tickets. You're just going to have to pay for them.
Yeah, what can you be upset about? You guys are selling out building after building. Really? Yeah. You're upset because your family
one dirt sheet tried to report it as WWE's not comping their talent and they can't even sell out shows.
Okay, here's the deal. Whoever you're in the WWE, you're making good enough money. Buy the tickets for your family. Sorry, It's that easy. It's that easy.
And if you're getting pre-sale chances to buy them, you ain't paying the overinflated prices that Ticketmaster jacks the prices.
You're getting
them at the value that they're meant to be.
First dibs. You would get
I would love that opportunity to get first dibs on any ticket at a reasonable price.
Pre-sale, I'd be sitting very good, very good at the Royal Rumble.
So I think Fightful Select is just doing what they do and trying to make a bigger story out of nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
Eddie Kingston has been pushing himself to be ready to return to AEW ASAP. However, his doctors have advised him he likely won't be cleared until at least June of 2025.
He's an older guy, and that injury he suffered that's a tough injury. But I mean, Eddie Kingston's also not the brightest. You know, he is who he is, and I love Eddie Kingston for who he is. But yeah, we'll see, Eddie. Maybe you should listen to the doctors.
Just chill. WWE is expecting to break the all-time Canadian gate record at this upcoming year's Elimination Chamber, given that John Cena is announced to appear, and it will be his final show ever in Toronto.
Yep, that's gonna be a big one.
Rogers Center. I think they're the baseball stadium there is a 55,000 seat stadium. I bet you they are damn near close to that number.
You not gonna make a trip to Toronto?
No.
Not
I hate Toronto. Fucking hate Toronto.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think it will.
Especially in February or March, it'll be cold as fuck there. Fuck that.
It will break a gate number. Literally, we've said this before on the show. No matter where they go next year, when you just have the words John Cena's final appearance, it's going to sell.
Yes, sir. WWE is currently working on when and how Alexa Bliss would return to storyline. It is still believed that she will return after the holidays and will be heavily in the WrestleMania mix.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw I forget who it reported, so it probably wasn't that big of a deal, that it wouldn't be till not 2025, but next year. Or 2026.
No, it's been reported that she'll be
heavily
involved.
Site that said, and it's just probably a stupid fan account, but
Alexa Bliss just posted on Instagram not too long ago. It was her daughter's 1-year birthday, so
it's crazy.
She's been at home. She's been at home for a whole year with her kid, and
it's
probably
crazy
ready to get back.
To think how long she's been out of action. Wow, we haven't had her on TV in that long. Her and Carmella, and Carmella as well.
Kyrie just posted a picture on Instagram. Just her chilling on a boat with the lake in the background.
Carmella's been out, but I know Carmella's dealing with post birth issues. I think we went over that a couple episodes ago. Carmella's been gone for a while. Rumors are she may not come back, from what I read. When you have a kid, it's up to you. To be a parent.
Well, that post separation, whatever it is, after some women, that's rough on some women. So that's a legit thing. Jimmy Hart is set to appear on Saturday Night's Main Event this upcoming December as part of efforts to pay tribute to and promote nostalgia for the show's past.
That'll be fun.
That's dope. Yeah.
Actually, give me 1 second here. There's an actual, literally, November 29th update from Carmella. She dropped. So Carmella's suffering from drop foot after giving birth, a condition where it becomes difficult for those afflicted to lift the frontal part of their foot. Issues with nerves or muscles in the region. So she's dealing with that, and she's focused, obviously, on being a mother.
I think even Corey Graves has mentioned that in the past, actually.
Yeah, so she's going with that, and then the report from November 29th is she just recently got an MRI on it. No update on that. But yeah, hey, I mean, get better, obviously. You don't want to get in the ring with drop foot. Oh, wow.
Christian recently tried to trademark the term Captain Charisma, but it was quickly opposed by the WWE.
Well, yeah. That was the WWE gimmick. It was Captain Charisma. Yeah. You go trademark Christian Cage. That's who you were everywhere else.
Mark Henry on Busted Open Radio. Okada was one of the best wrestlers in the world, top 5.
Here we go.
Now you have him delegated to saying bitch to pop the crowd. Let him go work, man. The dude is amazing.
If you are an AEW neckbeard,
I said that. I think I said this on the show yesterday. It's like everybody wants to complain what the WWE did with Shinsuke, but want to gloss over the fact that Okada is now a nothing.
Well, yeah, what WWE has kind of fumbled the Shinsuke thing. I can admit that, but
he's United States champion.
But now he's United States champion. But if you look at what AEW has done to Kazuchika Okada, it's insane to me, and people are defending it. Oh, congratulations! You get a laugh out of it sometimes. You can giggle. You get a laugh here and there. Are we getting a new sign? Okay. That's a free agent right there. That's a free agent right there. But yeah, I mean, they have fumbled Okada so bad. Like, they need to switch it. They need to change it. Honestly, they need to just tell him to stop talking. No more talking. Be Okada. Be Kazuchika Okada. Quit being this, oh, I say bitch and I get a laugh for 200 people in the stands. Stop it. It's stupid. It doesn't work.
It was funny. It is amusing, but it's also very sad at the same time.
It was funny the first 2-3 times. Now it's just, he says it every time.
Funniest, it's not even the bitch part that was the funniest. The funniest thing that he has done was when he was fawning over Mercedes Moné. That might have been the funniest thing he had done.
That was so stupid and cringy.
You laughed. Fuck off.
Yeah,
you thought it was hilarious.
Well, yeah, but also think about it like this. It pissed me off.
Anyways, nonetheless, Kazuchika Okada was, and I loved how Mark Henry said was, one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, now he's the guy that says bitch.
The internal belief within AEW staff is that Mox is unhappy with the creative directions he's been given with the Death Riders angle.
I thought he was
often comparing it to the horrible Devil storyline that almost killed AEW.
But I thought Mox was in charge of his creative.
Well, that's what Tony Khan would want you to believe.
Yeah, it's not work. I mean, honestly, you know what? I can't even talk about it because I don't know. Is it working? I don't know. According if Mox is frustrated, apparently it's not.
Yeah,
we didn't have a show last week, and it was post full gear was last weekend.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and I saw conflicting reactions, but the ending of Full Gear was the Death Riders. Like, this was the legit ending. It was them leaving the arena, Darby Allin running over their getaway truck with a bus. And
you know what? Do you know Fightful Select actually had reported as news that it was legitimately Darby Allin driving that hit him? They felt that necessary to report.
Must have been a slow news week.
It's like, well, one, if anybody thought it was a stuntman and it's Darby Allin, you're dumb to begin with because it's Darby Allin. And two, it's Darby Allin, so no, it wasn't a stuntman. Like, come on, it's Darby
Allin. I'm just gonna say this, and you're probably not gonna like this. Fans on Twitter have been posting, "Oh, we're eating good." The screenshot because the Continental Classic is going on in AEW, and Will Ospreay and Darby Allin are going to have a match. And while we're eating good, this match is going to go crazy. I'm sorry, Darby Allin. I don't get it. I don't get it anymore. I don't. He already lost. He lost to Brody
I'm sorry, King. You don't get it because you probably weren't a fan of Mick Foley either.
No, there's a difference between what Mick Foley does and Darby Allin. I'm sorry.
No, there isn't a mixed difference between what Mick Foley does and Darby Allin does.
But then he's copying.
They literally destroy their bodies to entertain us.
He's a spot. That's all he is.
Mick Foley was a spot.
Mick Foley was great. That's a legend. Darby Allin
Whatever.
is okay. Then if we're comparing, Darby Allin is just a wannabe Mick Foley.
Okay, any wrestler is a wannabe wrestler.
I just don't get it anymore. I don't.
That's fair. That's fine.
Cool. You fall off of shit and you almost kill yourself for the enjoyment of the 300 people sitting in the stands.
Cool, so would you say that if it was for the enjoyment of 50,000 fans in WWE, it'd be better then?
It'd be cool sometimes. You don't have to do it every day match.
Mick Foley did it every day match.
No, he didn't. He'd do it every match. Sometimes he was Mankind. Sometimes he was Dude Love. Sometimes you know. But I don't get the love of Darby Allin anymore. He was hidden, by the way. If you always want to make this, and I'm gonna make this comment here. They paired Jade Cargill with Bianca Belair because Jade can't go and she's not that good, and it gives her some star power to be with. Bianca Belair is a star. It's exactly what they did with Darby Allin. Here's Sting. Go ahead and ride his coattails. But when he's gone, oh shit, what are we going to do with him? I'll tell you what we're going to do with him. We're going to steal his world title shot because the kid doesn't have it. We'll give it to Moxley and create one of the stupidest storylines of all time in the Death Riders. And then we're going to
trying to defend AEW's world championship decisions right now?
No, I'm saying
they took it off the one man that could have carried that company, and they fucked it up. And now you're saying that.
No, you're twisting what I'm saying here.
No, I'm not.
You are twisting.
You're saying that
saying
they took away Darby's championship opportunity because he can't go, but they also took it off the one man that can carry that company, and now have him relegated to losing to Bobby fucking Lashley.
Swerve Strickland is a different conversation, and I've went on that tangent before. What I'm saying is, if Darby Allin was so damn good, why the hell wouldn't they let him keep the title over Mox and be the one to take it off?
Explain to me why any AEW decision makes no sense. Ricky Starks was re-signed to do nothing.
Listen, let's not agree on the facts, okay? We're having a conversation here.
You're trying to make it seem like Tony Khan actually has enough thought in his head to realize Darby can't go and didn't give him the wrestling chance.
I'm calling him an idiot.
No, you're just saying Darby sucks.
He does. If he was that good, why isn't he the champion? Why is he losing to Brody King on TV? This Continental Classic tournament, he lost to Brody King. He's going to lose to Will Ospreay.
Swerve Strickland lost to a 50-year-old Bobby Lashley. Why is that happening?
Why is that happening?
Because Bobby Lashley was a big giant star in WWE, and Tony Khan has a hard-on for actual wrestlers and doesn't realize that he does have actual homegrown talent in Swerve Strickland.
So your point to me then is Darby Allin actually is a superstar, and he's not being used correctly because of Tony Khan.
If he could be booked correctly, yes, he could be a superstar.
I can't disagree. Because
is Moxley not a top talent? Do you not think Moxley's great? Look at him right now. He's horrible.
Oh, it's a shit show. Whatever Moxley has become a shit show. AEW is a shit show. It's hard to have this conversation when the company itself...
It is hard to... If Darby came to WWE and was given a shot there and did not succeed, then I would probably have to be inclined to agree with you.
I am agreeing with you in saying if he was booked correctly. I think if anybody's booked correctly, they could be a star. But you're not going to get booked correctly in AEW.
Exactly. I just don't see how you don't see the talent that's in Darby Allin's wrestling.
What talent? The talent to try and kill yourself?
That's part... Okay, what did you think Io Sky's fucking top rope moonsault with the trash can on her head for the last 3 years has been pretty fucking awesome?
Io Sky can do other shit than jump off of the top of a cage with trash.
I'm sure Darby could too, but he's not given the chance to.
Yeah, he has. So you're telling me Tony Khan books the matches and everything that happens in the matches, it has to go this way?
Not necessarily, but the types of matches that he puts Darby in every fucking week is kind of inclined to him jumping off fucking tall things. And
it's hard to have...
Can we have this argument about Jack Perry and both agree that he sucks?
He's terrible. And the fact that he was on the top 5, was he in the top 5 of the under 30 list? I don't know.
No, top 10. He was number 7 or something.
Besides the point, I can't have this argument anymore because I'm not watching AEW. All I know is that he had a Continental Classic match and he lost to Brody King. And Continental Classic matches...
you can't go off of that because Tony Khan can't book worse shit.
There's no death-defying acts that happen in Continental Classic matches. It's a singles match, one-on-one. I mean, yeah, Darby can probably run off some stuff and coffin drop, whatever, but he's not going to jump off of the fucking stanchion and run through some glass.
Also like a quarter the size of Brody King.
Oh, now we're booking realistically in AEW? Is that what you're saying?
Can we just agree that Tony Khan's a fucking idiot?
Yeah, look at his picture on your screen.
There we go. Thank you. Holy crap. Fucking Darby Allin's amazing. Shut the fuck up.
Why are you going to throw that last part in? You just want to keep going.
Injuries coming out of fucking Survivor Series. Bronson Reed, if you have seen the video, you know what we're talking about, on his top of the cage spot, which, by the way, fucking amazing. Bravo. I
From
love
all
it when guys do death-defying acts to entertain us.
I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole again with you. I'm not going to argue this again. I'm going to continue on, and we're going to act like that didn't happen because it's going to come out again. The timing on everybody involved in that spot with CM Punk getting Roman Reigns out of the way at the time that he did,
impeccable.
Wow.
That was last second. That was literally last second. If he had missed pulling him or anything, he was getting squashed. But anyways, somebody took the footage, slowed it down, zoomed in on the bottom of the table when Bronson Reed came down. His ankle went.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say severe ankle sprain there.
I would say at the very least, that much weight coming down from that top. Look, Adam Copeland broke his leg from that height. So
yeah, Adam Copeland landed really bad on that too.
Adam Copeland just decided to stiff leg it for some reason. At least Bronson was like forward momentum, but
a little bit. Yeah.
Damn. Jimmy Uso apparently broke his toe in the match.
Yeah. So just to go back real quick on Bronson, I think there was a statement put out that he was checked by medical afterwards. He's going to get scans on his leg. He's this is my favorite part. He's questionable to appear on TV. He's questionable for the game coming up on Monday night. Yeah, Jimmy did break his toe, apparently big toe, and that was reported by Jey Uso.
Which, whatever, tape it up, you're fine, good to go.
You may not have a match for a while, but you'll be on TV. It's fine.
Oh no, broken toe, you just tape it to your toe next to it and cast it up.
That's true because
Arsenal. No different than I've broken my finger before, and I went to work the next day. You just tape it to the next one, and you go on with your life.
One of Arsenal's midfielders, Declan Rice, broke his toe, and he still played fucking soccer.
Yeah, it's not it's a non-issue, I would say. And Jacob Fatu, we thought got fucked up his knee or his thigh or so. Well, Zach thought his thigh, weird injury, but I figured it was his knee. Even if he did fuck up his knee, I'm sure he'd find a way to tape that shit up and keep going. Jacob Fatu is a beast, but it has been reported he's fine. So
yeah, apparently he's good to go, which is crazy from the way it looked and the way he was. I wonder if it was hurting him, but he was selling like
it was probably like a stainer as well. You know those injuries where you're just like, oh, am I good? I'm just gonna walk this. I'm gonna walk this off. I'm good. I'm pretty sure it's one of those. Okay, this is a bit of a read, but I have to because I just have to. Tony Khan calls the WWE ID program interesting and admits he will be testing its contractual limits soon. This is from Tony Khan. Full Gear Media call. It will be interesting to see the first time we have a talent that is under one of those WWE ID deals that we bring in. I'm not completely sure how those deals are going to work. I've heard some stuff about there being matching rights and with the people that have signed them, which would be an interesting thing. He's now said interesting like 4 times in 2 sentences. I have some thoughts on it, but I will reserve my judgment until I can actually test such a mechanism. I only know what I've read about them, but it's interesting. I think for us, we have a great roster right now of wrestlers spanning all ages, from very, very young wrestlers to decades of experience. And identifying young talent is really important to us. Sure it is. So it's something to continue to look at. We bring a lot of top young wrestlers into AEW and Ring of Honor to get squashed. And so far it has been a major conflict. So far it has not been a major conflict with any of those talents being signed elsewhere and it impeding their ability to work with us. But we will hold off our own talent in other shows because one guy in the company said something about me. But it'd be interesting to see how that goes in the coming future. I ad-libbed a couple things.
Translation in my mind, hearing it. We're gonna try and book some of these ID guys, and if anybody, if they say they can't do it, I'm gonna cry about it.
Yep. And all of the neckbeards will cry along with them.
We knew it was a bad decision for him to do the WWE ID program. It's gonna ruin pro wrestling. Blah, blah, blah.
Sure Brian Alvarez. I'm sorry, I'm just moving on. Brian Alvarez might be taking the title of biggest dumbass on the internet from Dave Meltzer here pretty soon, but
they're hand in hand.
Yeah, but sometimes one says dumber than the other. It's amazing. You don't think it's possible, but then they say something. You're like, okay, you are dumber than I thought. Brian Alvarez reports that a lot of people in WWE were very impressed by Big Boom AJ on AEW Dynamite, and that he would not be surprised to see the Costco guys in WWE very soon. This is coming from Brian Alvarez. I can also tell you that a lot of people in WWE are now well aware of AJ. I doubt it. They have thought the exact same thing you've talked about. He did a great promo. Cool. He can cut a promo. They're very impressed with what he's doing in terms of promoting this QT match. So unless Tony signs these guys to deals just to keep them away, which Tony actually would probably do, I would not be at least bit surprised to see the Costco guys in WWE very soon. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt
Oh,
it.
this is coming from Triggered Wrestling on Facebook. Their comment after is like, "Ooh, WWE mooching talent again." Shaking my head. Talent?
First off, that's not talent. You had a pre-show match with QT Marshall that Dave Meltzer gave 2 stars, and I mean, good on the guy for promoting your shit. Cool, you're cool. But no, let's pump the brakes a little bit, dude. You're fine, and you're right. He is right in that, in saying Tony Khan will probably sign him to a contract.
Oh yeah, just to keep any chance of anybody else using it.
Yep.
This was meant for last week's show, but I still have to bring it up because thank God somebody in that company is doing shit to keep kayfabe alive and keep wrestling awesome and keeping wrestling at its purest form. I love you, Tony Storm. Tony Storm has announced her retirement from professional wrestling effective immediately. She goes on to say, "I'm not used to being a loser. I failed at everything. I lost in AEW. I lost in Japan. I lost in Mexico. This is the last you'll hear from me again. Enjoy Mariah May as your champion. You can all enjoy that. AEW is just fine without me. Everything is going well for AEW. They don't need Tony Storm."
This could be the best storyline on ever in AEW right here.
She's fantastic. She's fantastic.
When she comes back, it's gonna be like, oh, yeah. Thank God she is. She's so good. What was she, number 2 on that under 30 match list?
I believe so. Yep.
2 or 3. Deserve it actually. Tony is great, and her, the timeless Tony Storm gimmick worked really well. We'll see what happens. We'll see how long she's not around for.
Watch out for the shoe.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued to see where they go with this. And if I'm Tony Khan, you let her run it. Let her do it. Let her do everything. Don't have an input, please, for the love of God, because you will fuck it up.
Man, there's a few times, like Swerve Strickland's one of them, Tony Storm's another one. WWE dropped the ball.
Yep, I agree. I was a big Tony Storm fan when she was in WWE. Yeah, they fucked up, and I you could say WWE dropped the ball, which they did. Vince McMahon dropped the ball. I don't think it would be like that if she was still here now.
Look, thank God for Triple H coming in when he did, because look at Karrion Kross, man. It's taken so long to get him relevant again.
Yep. There's a lot of talent you have to think about that we're lucky you're still here now that Triple H took over. Because
Sami Zayn, even, I would say, because he had that horrible conspiracy storyline for like 2 years.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how much longer Tony's going to be in.
And look at Tommaso Ciampa now. Tommaso Ciampa is starting to make a comeback as, the
Tommaso
Ciampa of
the Black Heart. Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, that's it. That's the news. That's the news. Week of November 25th to December 1st. That's all I got. Bert's got some stuff.
All I really got is results, actually. I'm just going to run through these real quick. We're not going to have a segment on it because we didn't watch it, but maybe we should. TNA Turning Point took place. It's it's a special event, but it's TNA whatever recorded. It's not a pay-per-view. This was the 60th edition, by the way, of Turning Point. Did not know that. I assume this is something they've done since back then, obviously. I'm just gonna run through the match card real quick. There's a name that pops up in here. We didn't talk about in the news who made his debut there. Rosemary got a win over Zaya Brookside and Savannah Evans. Mike Santana defeated Frankie Kazarian. There was a 6-way Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl match. The loser has to wear a turkey suit. This happened in TNA. Eric Young, Hammerstone, PCO, Brian Myers, John Schuyler, and Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry picked up the win. PCO had to wear a turkey suit.
I actually did read that.
The TNA X Division Championship. By the way, Moose is the TNA X Division champion right now. He defeated Laredo Kid. Steve Macklin defeated Josh Alexander, which we've talked about Josh Alexander in the past. The rumors his contract is coming to an end with TNA, and he could be heading to WWE. There are rumors. Yep. Rumors. All-Star Showdown, 6-way tag match. Ace Austin, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy taking on Kushida, Zachary Wentz, and the debuting TNA superstar, Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle made his TNA debut on Thursday, teaming with Zachary Wentz and Kushida in a losing effort. Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace apparently had a fantastic.
I heard they had a banner match.
2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3
championship
falls.
match. Yep. Grace got the first one. Slamovich got the second, and Slamovich got the third. And the TNA World Championship was on the line. Nick Nemeth defeated Eddie Edwards for that. Other than that, there has been no new announcements. There is an event coming up December 13th, a TNA special event, which is called Final Resolution. Nothing has been announced for that yet. I don't know if this is it's similar to what I just talked about.
That's the night before Saturday night's main event.
Yep, December 13th. So that is it's the 58th edition of Final Resolution. And then obviously we talked about it, TNA Genesis. It is a pay-per-view announced for January 29th. That's taking place. No new matches, I don't think, have been announced for Wrestle Kingdom. We still have the same card. We talked about it last episode. Zack Sabre Jr. and Shota Umino seem to be the main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. As I scroll through, no new matches announced for that. We do have New Japan Strong Style Evolved coming up December 15th, which is a strong event in Long Beach, California. Matt Vandergriff versus Zane J. Mina Shirakawa taking on Johnny Robbie, Leo Rush, and Hechicero. Kushida, TJP, Clark Connors, and Fujita. Shingo Takagi and Yota Tajui taking on Konosuke Takeshita and Jack Perry in a grudge match. Strong Openweight Tag Championship match. The champs are the Grizzled Young Vets taking on West Coast Wrecking Crew. Gabe Kidd versus Rio Oia. And Mercedes Moné is set to be the main event, defending her title as well. That's all I got regarding events coming up. Obviously, I guess I should mention Saturday night's main event. I don't think anything has been announced for Saturday night's main event except for obviously Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. Does that sound about right?
Which is all that matters. All that matters.
That is going to be a good one. So look out for that. With that being said, that is a wrap on the news, the rumors, the innuendo. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to get into the recap from Monday Night Raw. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Top Rope Renegades. This is This Week in Wrestling episode number 31. Before
Kurt,
what's up?
You're not starting Raw yet. I have breaking news.
Oh, okay. Breaking news here on the Top Rope Renegades podcast.
Clips across official WWE social media platforms involving Roman Reigns and CM Punk during Survivor Series 2024 last night have amassed an estimated 204 million views in its first 24 hours. A single Instagram reel that saw Reigns stopping Punk from entering WarGames has passed 76 million views as of press time, an estimated new high for a 24-hour span social media reach.
He's not a draw, man. Wow. I think the people have spoken, Triple H. I think we want Punk, Roman.
Not a draw. CM Punk's a cancer. He's not a draw.
When the hell are we going to get that match?
SummerSlam area, I would think.
Maybe because we're both predicting Seth Mania, but
maybe. Oh,
Roman and
Punk
Punk at
wins his
Mania.
WrestleMania. Punk wins his WrestleMania belt from Seth or however, or he just whatever happens there happens. Punk comes out of WrestleMania champion. Roman Reigns gets his championship back at SummerSlam.
By beating Punk.
Yeah.
Oh, you dirty dog. That would be very interesting to say the least. We'll see what happens. With that being said, Monday Night Raw. Now, for those of you that do watch,
Can we just skip Raw and SmackDown and Survivor Series and just do NXT this week?
no.
That's the only. That was the only. That's a 10-star show right there.
Yeah, it was a good show. We're gonna see how this goes. I was on a roll of taking my own notes. I've sucked with that.
Then he got lazy.
Got a little lazy. I did really enjoy when we went live for Monday Night Raw, though. I thought that was pretty cool. It's hard for me to do on Mondays because I do bowl, but we'll see.
It's not happening anytime soon again.
RK's busy. RK's got a life. He's got this thing called a jab. But I also have a job.
No, I have more than a job. I have a company to run.
Yeah, there you go. I'm switching my recaps from Fightful Select because I am over their shit. And we are switching to wrestlingheadlines.com. See how this goes. Monday Night Raw from Glendale, Arizona. We kick things off with Jackie Redmond talking to Gunther. Gunther is asked about his defense of his World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest at Survivor Series. But before we get to that, she wanted to start the interview by going back to what happened on Monday Night Raw, saying, your time in WWE has been nothing but dominant, Gunther. But ever since you lost to Cody Rhodes' crown jewel, it feels like we're seeing something different. Damian Priest says you're no longer the confident champion we saw and whose reputation is quite literally rooted in almost never losing. Gunther, what is your response to that? I can't do this recap, I don't think. There's too much. I'm going to keep reading way too much. Excuse me for a second. What did you think of the opening segment here before I
thought it was good. So what they're like, how far did you get? Because I wasn't really listening to you. I was reading something. Did you get to the part where where they fight and everything?
All right. The show kicks off with Gunther, who has his promo interrupted by Damian Priest.
Sorry, I was distracted by a very interesting story regarding CM Punk, actually, but that's a different story in itself. Yeah, it's not. It's an actual story that I need to read all the way through.
Oh, okay. Priest questioned what would happen to Gunther when he loses to a guy from the streets at Survivor Series. Gunther acts like he's going to walk away for a moment, and then he doesn't. He hits Priest with the microphone. They brawl, with Gunther getting the better of Damian. As Gunther clears the announce table, Priest gets a second wind, and he threw Gunther into the ring post and sent him through the table with a razor's edge. Opening segment.
So everybody's been questioning, and we obviously already know the outcomes of Survivor Series, but everyone's questioning up to this point after this is like, why the fuck are we making Gunther look so weak? And it's not so much that it's not so you got to look at it this way. It's not so much that they're making Gunther look weak; they're making Damian Priest look like a legitimate threat to Gunther. Do you want a title match at Survivor Series where you 100% know Gunther's going to win the match? Or do you want a match where you're like, ooh, could Damian actually pull this out? He's been on top for the last 3-4 weeks on Gunther. Yeah, it's just creating drama for the match. You can't just have like Gunther is fantastic. I'm a huge Gunther fan. Damian Priest is probably one of the most improved wrestlers in the past 4 years of wrestling. Period. Honestly, people should study his rise in the business because literally 4 years ago he was nothing, and he's 41. Like at 37 to become something where he is now is a wild in 4 years. Nonetheless, got to build drama. Gunther can't just be seen as this unbeatable monster. He's very rarely beaten, but you got to give him some legitimate threats to his title. And they did this perfectly well with the setup leading into Survivor Series. And once we get to Survivor Series, Kirk will say he did not like the finish. I thought it was awesome, but we'll get into that. Just because let me just preface this now. It's awesome because once again, I called it on the prediction show of what was going to happen.
We get an update, the Jade Cargill injury. Basically, on the WWE update, they said she basically tore and broke everything in her body. If you want to run through it and go see the tweet, it was literally, you know what? I'm just going to be that guy here. Hold on. Here's the tweet. Jade Cargill has been diagnosed with the following injuries: deep lumbar paraspinal muscle contusions, a bruised kidney, sprained MCL in her right knee, tibula plateau bone bruise of her right knee, facial lacerations, and there is no timetable of return. That was WWE's update. Take that as story or whatever. Who knows? But Bianca Belair and Naomi are discussing who should be the fifth member. Io comes up and suggests Kairi Sane. Bianca says no because she doesn't want any more damage control members. Naomi suggests Bayley. Bianca shuts that down as well. Rhea comes into the frame and says she does not care who gets picked as long as they leave Liv Morgan for her. Bianca gets a bit aggressive. She said she needed to carry the team on her back tonight against Nia Jax. Some people were criticizing the women's War Games match build as it was just, they said it was all thrown together. But I didn't hate
this. No, you got to look at the stories inside of the stories. Yep. You got the Bayley, Bianca, Io shit going on. You got the Rhea, Liv, Raquel stuff going on. You got the Tiffany Stratton cashing in on either Liv or Nia things. There's a lot of stories inside the stories of the stories going on during that War Games match. A lot of things could have happened, and it does make sense. What did feel a little thrown together at last second? Yeah. Does it feel like maybe they didn't know what they were doing with it right off the hop? Yes. That being said, they figured it out. And yeah, once again, just got to look at the stories inside of stories. There's so many different little storylines in there. There was at one point where Bayley saved Bianca. We'll get into that. But so nonetheless, stories inside of stories, people. I'm sorry if you can't follow a story for more than 5 seconds. If that's the case, go watch AEW. You'll be fine.
All right, heard it here first. We have a Tornado Tag Team match. American Made taking on LWO. American Made is going to pick up the win here. A little help from Chad Gable on ringside. What did you think of this match?
LWO, man, anytime. Or Legado, anytime, man. You're cringing watching them come out. And that's nothing against Ray, and that's nothing against Dragon Lee, because Dragon Lee put on that fucking banner match 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But nonetheless, for what this match was, it was well enough done because they were smart to just go all action. It plays in the favor of both teams extremely well because they're just Brutus and Julius are amazing. But I mean, it's Ray and Dragon, so I mean, come on. Yeah, still though, I can't get behind anything LWO and anything Legado does these days. It's overplayed. They overplayed it too much, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot with the whole thing. It's not they try to revive something that was cool like 10 years ago.
Agreed. Here's what I had a little issue with coming up. Footage is shown of CM Punk and Paul Heyman returning to SmackDown from the week prior. The footage is spliced in with reactions from content creators and headlines from multiple websites. Here is my issue, RK. WWE started flagging and taking down content creators' reaction videos on TikTok. So I stopped posting on TikTok because it seemed that they were coming down pretty hard. Why are you then taking their reactions and posting them on TV? If you don't want them to react and you're taking down their videos, why are you posting their reactions to it? One, because they can.
100%.
But like,
I mean, if I was any one of those content creators, I'd be like sending out a cease and desist order against them right away.
You could if you wanted to. I mean, you're using they won't because they're fans, but
nonetheless, this might come down to one hand doesn't talk to the other hand. Maybe it's a higher up in TKO that's their only job is to go scour the internet for anything that's WWE related and being used against copyright claims and just sending out cease and desist letters to be shut down. And then these guys over here that are putting through promo videos don't know that side has happened, and they're just like, oh yeah, these fucking content creators are fucking showing reactions. Let's throw them in. I feel like, it's quite possible. I mean, TKO, WWE, huge fucking conglomerate of fucking people. I mean, I worked in big companies too, and there were plenty of times where something would get told to one guy over here and we wouldn't get the information, do it this way, and then find out we did it wrong 5 hours later. But we were like, well, how the fuck did we supposed to go? So anyways, unless I think it might have come down to that case. If not, and it's just purely WWE flexing their muscle and doing what they want, well, guess what? If they have the money, figure it out.
Yes, Judgment Day's Clubhouse, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are talking about needing the advantage at War Games.
Nonetheless, we will never be shut down. You want to know why? Because we'll adapt. We are better than that.
Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are talking about needing the advantage at War Games. Finn Balor, I mean, I was actually really, really far into the next segment, and you cut me off that time. Like that one was worse than any of your other times.
Okay, whatever.
For no reason.
Settle the fuck down.
For no reason. For no reason.
For no reason. My whole gimmick is cutting you off.
Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are talking about needing the advantage at War Games. Finn Balor is aggressive.
If you came up with a gimmick, you'd understand what it was all about. But
made by the rest of the team. R-Truth pops up and says he's looking for a place to hide from Butch. Balor says he can't hide in the clubhouse. Truth in response said they're not family anymore, and he canceled Thanksgiving in hopes that their turkey is dry on Twitter. Any comments about the Judgment Day Clubhouse segment?
I fucking love it. The big takeaway from this though is, man, Finn Balor, man, he's on fire right now. He's on fire. He's got something up his sleeve. This is gonna be the Finn Balor show very soon.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that when we get to Survivor Series. Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser ends in a DQ. Sheamus ran out to attack Kaiser, returning the favor from last week. Then had to be separated by officials from Braun. All three of them are brawling up the ramp, and Adam Pearce makes it a three-way for the IC title at Survivor Series. This match was literally set in stone to get us to the triple threat.
100%. That's all they were going for. The funniest part was this: Adam Pearce just came out and just lost it. He literally lost it. He fucking never seen Adam Pearce quite that defeated and upset all at the same time.
He kind of did it with Punk and Drew. He kind of did it with
Punk and Drew. No, this was very obvious. He looked just completely over it and pissed off all at the same time.
Have you seen his video he posted where people keep asking me when I say I need a drink, what does that entail? And he goes, drink water. I was like, what?
The funniest part about this is they were brawling and they went to commercial, and because they were brawling back, they were broken up, and we came back from commercial, they're brawling again. It's like, what the fuck? Did they just stop for the commercial and then start brawling after the commercial again?
I like to imagine during the commercial break they all stopped and like, we're just doing this, talking, looking at the fans like, how you doing? Good. All right, we're back in 5, 4.
Shit.
And fight. It would have been hilarious. Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso are talking about how they're feeling about CM Punk joining the team. Sami says CM Punk is a complicated guy and that he and Roman are going to talk on Friday to settle some issues. We'll talk about SmackDown here in just a minute. World Tag Team Championship is on the line. Judgment Day, yes, they do defend the titles. They're defending them against the War Raiders. Judgment Day is going to retain their titles. Carlito and Dominic came out to help their teammates to retain, allowing Finn Balor to pick up the coup de grace in the 1, 2, 3. What'd you think of the World Tag Title match?
I really wanted the War Raiders to win. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Me too.
I think this whole Finn Balor shit that's going to go on here is... I think JD and Finn stick together. I'm not really 100% sure, but I think they do. JD and Finn are good friends offside of things, and they have that Irish background.
Nothing to do with them staying on screen together, but carry on.
What?
Carry on.
What are you talking about?
Well, just because they're best friends, they have to stay together?
No, but I mean, also, they're like the only two that get along in the fucking clubhouse. I think Finn never yells at JD.
I think give it time. I think Finn's
nonetheless
sever all ties.
Who gives a fuck? Why? You know what? Fuck you. Continue on with your fucking stupid fucking recap.
Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? Yeah. Doesn't feel good, does it?
Mainly because I lost my train of thought, and then I was going somewhere with it.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's not fun.
You're just reading off a website. I actually am forming a fucking thought.
Yeah, because well, that's your job, and you do it well. But I'm trying to do my job well, and what happens when I try and do my job well?
Do your job.
Exactly. And you can go ahead and you can interrupt me, and guess what? I'm going to continue reading, and I don't care. I don't care.
Well, you're wrong. I'm not going to interrupt you. Read. Wait, what was the question, anyways?
What were your thoughts on them winning the world title match? We both wanted the Viking Raiders to win. You think Finn and JD are going to stick together, and then that's where we stopped.
I think the titles will stick. Who do you put them on other than? I think the War Raiders were your best bet at that point, but you can't just do it again. So I don't know. I think JD Finn break away from the group. Finn, then Finn turns on JD eventually. I don't know, but we'll see.
I just do want the titles off of them at this point. I think that there's such a good tag division there to have matches.
Is there though?
Maybe not on Raw. Maybe not on Raw.
No, there really isn't. War Raiders, LWO,
American made.
You want to put the tag titles on fucking? Oh, I guess American. You want to put tag titles on Ray and Dragon Lee?
No, not at this point in Ray's career. Kofi Keeks and Xavier Woods are talking about the upcoming New Day 10-year anniversary celebration, and they're looking forward to celebrating good times leading into Alpha Academy.
Fucking forgot this happened on Raw. Shit. Okay.
Leading into Alpha Academy taking on the New Day. Alpha Academy picks up the win here, and it was over almost immediately.
Minute 46 seconds.
Follow along with me here now. Xavier Woods and Kofi argued over who was going to start the match. Woods ended up taking the pinfall quickly. Camera followed them directly to the backstage area where they had a huge verbal disagreement. Woods said Kofi needed to let him take the lead. Kofi said that he and E never let him lead because he's reckless. Woods says that he's the reason Kofi became the world champion because he took risks that Kofi was afraid to. Kofi said he was already a Hall of Famer by the time Woods tried to team with him. He said Xavier wasn't good enough to become a champion, and he fumbled all of his opportunities. The biggest line from this was when Xavier Woods said, "And what did you do with the opportunity as a world champion? You squandered it in 13 seconds by losing to Brock Lesnar."
Who?
Brock Lesnar.
Well, you can't be sure they're talking about the same Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, you're right. It could be Brock Lesnar from over Europe.
the Nordic.
The Nordic Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
I'm just, how everyone's like, oh, they're not purposely hinting at the Beast and all this. They're not purposely hinting. I think they have always been purposely hinting at it.
Yeah, it was just a good line. And then, of course, the internet.
Honestly, Kofi has to play the Page card.
The internet was all he's got to do is bring up Page, and then the crowd's gonna go, "Oh!" They did do that once in the rap battles with the Usos when the Usos told them, "Let's not get all R-rated like your boy Xavier Woods, X-rated like your boy Xavier Woods over there." Yeah, it's been mentioned before. Good stuff. Miz tells the final testament the Wyatts are in the building. They go to chase after them, but leave Scarlett behind. Scarlett is then taken out by Nikki Cross, and Karrion Kross vows vengeance on the Wyatts. What you think of this segment?
So good, man. So good.
Let the Wyatts and Karrion Kross cook.
Did they get to the part where Karrion came back?
Yeah, I said that. Scarlett is shown that she's taken out by Nikki Cross when Karrion returns.
So, Karrion Kross posted on his Instagram.
Wait! Before you get into the serious conversation about it and do your thing, one of my favorite parts was I popped when Miz was just going to barge in and Karrion was like, "Whoa, knock." my wife's knock. This was she could be changing. Knock.
Everything right now that Karrion Kross and the White Six are doing is fantastic. I keep getting distracted by the CM Punk story because it's kind of good. I'll send you the link to it after. Karen Cross posted on Instagram. It's been recirculated a couple times, and more stuff gets scratched out of it for some. I don't fucking know why, but I read the original one that he posted. Basically, it was from Bray Wyatt in like 2013, 2012, somewhere in there. Message to Karen Cross saying, "Hey, something like welcome to the game or whatever. I've been watching you and seeing what you got, and it's a long process, but you have the talent to get there, and you'll be just fine in this industry," or something along those lines. It was just big old Bray Wyatt giving Karen Cross, the new kid on the block, keep at it, you'll get there, right? And he posted that and basically was saying, this is from Bray. You guys fucked up.
Translation. Simple translation. That was interesting. I haven't seen that yet. I meant to go find it and look at it, but yeah. I think they're gonna cook. I can't wait to see where it leads. I can't wait. We'll see. Tune in to Monday Night Raw.
So good. It's like I said earlier, it's taken a long. Triple H has been working hard. Never questioned it. Like, he's just not over. Just give it up. Karen Cross has been on fire for about the last month and a half. On fire.
We get footage that was shown from earlier in the night. This was before the show went on the air. Adam Pearce announcing the WWE Women's Intercontinental Title Championship tournament beginning on Monday Night Raw next.
What did you say when they did it?
What
did you say when they did it? When they showed the clip from earlier, the Intercontinental, they showed it right away on the show for this week, the pre-recorded for next week, the stuff that happened. What did you say?
I don't remember, dude.
You're like, that's fucking smart.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was pre-recorded. Is Raw pre-recorded tomorrow?
No, but that's where I was confused. You're like, why?
Yeah, they posted. So I saw a tweet of this segment posted by someone saying, "Oh, Raw's pre-recorded. We're getting this segment. We're getting this right now in the arena."
I heard that they recorded a main event before the show.
Right. So the tweet I saw showed that segment, and then I was in my head, and then I'm like, "What?" And then they aired it on Monday Night Raw, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it's, I don't know. The tweet led me astray, thinking that it was
It is odd that they would premiere the belt on a main event show instead of the Raw show.
It wasn't technically main event. It was still set up for Raw. Like, the ring was
Raw
and all that stuff.
But it's just weird that they wouldn't do it on TV. It's weird.
Nonetheless,
Raw this week is not pre-recorded because it's in.
So.
It's in Washington State, Raw tomorrow, and they were just in Vancouver last night, so it's like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, I didn't think it was pre-recorded. That would be dumb to have especially the anniversary of the New Day as a pre-recorded episode. Yeah, no, you're not doing that. We get a Bloodline promo previewing.
But that's what I was getting at. You said that's smart to keep it off from next week. I'm like going, I don't think next week is pre-recorded.
Yeah, I didn't think
maybe it is.
It's not. Women's War Games Advantage match is the main event. Bianca Belair taking on Nia Jax. Bianca Belair picks up the win over Nia here because of Bayley. Bayley came out and tripped up Nia, allowing Bianca to get the victory. It was a quick cut just in the show, but we see Bianca and Bayley nod at each other as we end the show for Monday Night Raw. What did you think of the match? And Bayley seemingly being the 5th member there.
It's a good match, actually. I don't say that a lot about a lot of Nia Jax matches, but it was actually really good. The two mixed very well, and Jax looked dominant in the match. If it wasn't for Bayley, Jax would have definitely won that match. I just gotta say, Bayley looked fucking on fire again, as she always does. Like, Bayley just she continues to impress.
Real quick, wipe the drool off your face while I give flowers.
Don't have any drool.
To Nia Jax deserves a little credit.
It's no secret that Bayley is Bayley.
Same over here with Liv Morgan. But and Tiffany.
And anybody that wants to say, "Oh, look, you guys are just talking about Bayley and they're just talking because they're women and stuff. It's like, don't pretend like you don't have a favorite wrestler that you think is absolutely gorgeous. Sorry.
It's not a crime to like beautiful women.
And
that's all I have to say. I think some credit needs to give to Nia. Nia's actually had a pretty good run this year.
She has had a really good run. She does have her moments of not being great, though, man.
She is on TV every week. She has defended her title quite a few times. She's in matches that don't involve her title. A lot can be said for other main champions in WWE. Nia seems to be the one.
She's running a great story right now. She's running a fantastic story right now. This Tiffany, Candice LeRae.
Give me Tiffy time as our champion. With that being said, that is Monday Night Raw. RK, what are your final thoughts of what took place? Anything to add?
It was decent Raw. I mean, none of the matches were really, go out of your way to watch or anything, but it was just setting up for Survivor Series and getting Gunther. It was just a big setup show. Go home shows are usually like that. It was a good show. I mean, overall, It wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a great show. It was a good show.
All right. When we come back, it is going to be time to talk about
taking another break.
NXT delivered this week. We're going to break that down and talk about that more in just a second here on the Top Rope Renegades. Alrighty, welcome back to the Top Rope Renegades. My name is Kurt, alongside RK. We're going to dive in to NXT. And hold on to your seats, because this NXT was it had everything from great matches to surprises and everything in between. We kick things off with a surprise of some sorts, you may call it. The Chase University Chase U music hits, and you're thinking, oh, Andre Chase is coming to the ring. He's gonna have something to say. No, it is Ridge Holland in the most heel manner, coming out and ripping up the Chase U sign. He comes out, brags about fulfilling his promise, and vowed to become NXT champion at Deadline. Didn't say much. That's all he really said. Left. It was perfect. Perfect. What did you think of the opening?
Big Bronson Reed posted on Twitter, "Injuries are temporary, moments are forever," and he's not wrong. The opening of NXT was fantastic. What is your problem?
What's up? What? Sorry, technical difficulties. I think I'm having connection issues. Apparently it's unstable right now. Can you hear me fine? Are we good?
Yes. No, you're actually not good.
Okay, I'm not good. I should be fine right now.
You're good now.
Okay, go on with your thoughts of the opening segment of NXT.
Where did I leave off?
You said, what's my problem?
Well, I mean, that could lead to a lot of different things. We're not here to psychoanalyze at the moment. That will be for a different show when we have more time. And he's just like, he got like a lazy eye there going on. Okay, he's done with me today. The opening segment, man, the Ridge Holland's fucking killing it right now, man. Fuck, that was good. That was good coming out like that. Had everybody's hopes up, and then boom, it's Ridge Holland. Short and sweet. I told you so. Let's go.
Yep. And that's really all I needed to say. Up next, men's Iron Survivor qualifying match. Ethan Page taking on Axiom. I enjoyed this match. Ethan Page is going to come out the winner here with a lariat. Axiom did his Axiom things. Nathan Frazier was ringside as well. But it is Ethan Page picking up the win. What did you think of All Ego taking home the win and qualifying for the Iron Survivor?
Ethan Page is so fucking good. But, I mean, these two, right off the hop, open up fucking NXT, first match, fucking 5-star banner. Axiom is freaking ridiculous. And kudos to Ethan Page, because Ethan Page he can adapt to so many styles of wrestling and keep up.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. Ethan Page is fantastic. It's a great fucking match, and yeah, Ethan Page deserves to be back in the title picture.
Sarah Schreiber interviewed Page after the match, but Nathan Frazier interrupted to tell Page not to count him out from the Iron Survivor Challenge. Wesley and Javon Evans interrupt to make their claim, but then the NXT Tag Division interrupts to call out Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Frazier and Axiom then said, "All right, you want to go? We'll go," and went at it with the Tag Division. All chaos. Man, we weren't playing Ava wasn't playing when she said someone needed to step up. I've said it before, but the Tag Division is everywhere and it is crazy.
I sure hope it doesn't backfire on her.
That would suck.
If you're only listening to us and not watching us, you cannot see our faces, and right now it's just dead silence. But other than that, this Axiom Nathan Frazier might be the best thing NXT's got going. Period. He's so fucking good.
Yeah,
everything, match, in ring, promos, comedy, series, fantastic, absolutely fucking fantastic.
Backstage, the world stood still as Lola Vice and Stephanie Vacour spoke. Ren Sinclair confronts Vince. Wow. Lola Vice confronts Lola Vice and told her she should learn how to take a loss because she lost to Jada and apparently Lola can't let it go. This led to Lola challenging Sinclair to a match later on, and actually it will be the next match. Poor Ren, man. Poor Ren. Anything on that segment there?
No, not really. Other than the fact that Stephanie Vicker.
Fair enough. Nikita Lyons and Ashante Adonis are speaking backstage about trying to reunite. But Carmen interrupts them and is irate at Shantae's behavior. This story is there's so much going on at NXT, man. You have, the wrestling, you have the wrestling stories, and now we have a love storyline going on that's also going to incorporate some wrestling with Nikita and Carmen at some point. What do you think of this Shantae the Adonis story going on here?
I mean, it's literally the most interested I've been in Ashanti the Adonis period. So I mean, it's doing something.
Yeah, he showed up on NXT with that up and comer Cedric Alexander and hasn't looked back. So we'll see where that leads to. Tatum Paxley was playing with her dolls before Fatal Influences Jasmine Nix and JC Jane interrupted and tossed her dolls around. Tatum said Karma would come and haunt them, and a mysterious figure at the end of this showed up and picked up the orange-haired doll. Foreshadowing? Maybe. I didn't notice that when I watched it, but it was an orange-haired doll that got picked up. And you'll see where that leads. Lola Vice defeats Ren Sinclair with Charlie Dempsey by Ren's side. It was a back fist to heaven, apparently, is what is being listed at here. After the match, Lola calls out Jada Parker, saying she will see her underground. We're going to get an NXT Underground match again. Jada Parker, Lola Vice. Lola, who did she beat? Natalia?
Yeah.
An underground match, but that is happening.
Yep.
NXT North American Championship match. Tony D'Angelo taking on Shawn Spears. Tony is going to pick up the win here via his standing ovation. Nico Vance appeared and attacked Tony after the match. What did you think of the North American Championship match?
Match, what was it? Start of this year, Kurt's like, we got to watch NXT. It's the best thing going. I'm never watched it. Don't care. Kurt's like, we got to watch it. So he's at least 1 for 2 this year on shows that we have to watch.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I did it.
Don't try that because you're so wrong. You're so wrong.
Did I recommend we watch AEW?
Yeah, I did. And what did we do? We watched AEW. And what were we? Entertained until about March.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
You can't fault me for AEW's downfalls.
I kind of can because they were doing fine before we started watching them.
Oh, so we're the problem?
And they've never recovered. We killed AEW. 10 years from now, Vice. Who killed AEW? Top Rope Renegades.
The Top Rope Renegades. Oh, yeah. Comments on the...
and then they go to interview us, and we're like, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we started watching it all with the shit. Don't know what happened. Maybe we just have that aura. I don't know. Anyway, watch WWE on the Netflix. That's all.
What was getting at? Tony D'Angelo. When we first started watching, I did not like Tony D'Angelo at all, but NXT's done a fantastic job. Shawn Michaels, all those guys have done a fantastic job of turning D'Angelo into a superstar. And D'Angelo's amazing. He's doing so fucking good.
Yeah, the build to him getting the title off of Obafemi was fantastic. Then he's been pretty good ever since. We see the parking lot. You know about the NXT parking lot?
You know what the greatest thing about Shawn Michaels working with these guys, turning them into bona fide stars, building them up, and then when he passes them off, Triple H is waiting there, and there's no conflict of interest between Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and Triple H trying to overshadow Shawn Michaels or vice versa. They're friends. They're like best for the company. Not, I've got this guy for you. He's ready. Let's put him in a bondage suit and set him out there.
Yeah, that was the issue. Triple H built guys up in NXT and Vince ruined them on the main roster. The parking lot is in chaos as the tag division is brawling. We have people going through car windows, on top of cars, through cars. Pure chaos in the NXT parking lot. We get a vignette of Andre Chase picking up all of his Chase University materials from the building. But as he goes to leave, you hear somebody in the background go, "Hey, Mr. Chase." And that's it. What? I want to know now. Tune in to NXT on Tuesdays. Women's Iron Survivor qualifying match. Kalani Jordan wanting to test herself against the best. She's taking on Julia here, and these two did put on a pretty good match. Finish was a Northern Lights bomb from Julia for the 1-2-3. Kalani takes the L here. What did you think?
Yeah, she may have taken the L, but Kalani continues to show that she is slowly developing into a top tier talent. If she continues on this path, she's going to be more than just a good athlete. She's going to be a fantastic wrestler, tons of potential. Fantastic. Of course, Julia won though. I mean,
yeah,
we got to set up this big fucking Iron Survivor match with Julia, with Stephanie McCurr, with is Zarya involved? No, she's not involved in this. Is she involved in it? No. She's doing something else. She's gonna be busy doing something else, isn't she? I thought we went over this. Anyways, nonetheless, they're building up this big, huge match. Iron Survivor's the women's Iron Survivor is probably gonna be the best fucking match of Deadline. Period.
Yeah, that match is gonna be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. Sorry, I'm just making sure I got all my ducks in order here. Okay. So Ava announces that next week on NXT there will be 2 last chance Iron Survivor qualifying Fatal 4 matches for both the men and the women. Winner of these matches will get the final spot at Deadline for the Iron Survivor. Lexis King is very grateful for this opportunity. Eddie Thorpe is still being a bitch about it. Next week, also on NXT, there will be a tag team battle royal. The winners will battle Axiom and Nathan Frazier for the titles at Deadline. Axiom is not thrilled about this decision. And then we go backstage, and the tag teams are still brawling. They've gotten inside, though, RK. They're back inside. They are brawling, and as they're brawling, a individual is... sorry, I want to set this up correctly. Ava's going through a door. Eddie Thorpe grabs her arm and tries to stop her to talk to her because he's still being a little bitch and is complaining about every little thing. I don't know what Eddie Thorpe is doing, but he's turned into I'll say it again, a little biatch. And he grabs Ava's arm. Ava says, "No, get your hands off of me. What are you doing?" As she's confronting Eddie, the tag teams, as I said, were brawling backstage, and the door slams into Ava as Ava hits her head with the door and then hits the ground. Whoa. What were your thoughts right there? Because we're about to go to commercial break. Wow.
My thoughts right off the hop. I'm like, yo, do you know who her dad is?
Yeah, The Rock's going to show up on NXT next week. We come back from commercial break, and Shawn Michaels is seen checking on Ava. He gets up and he snaps on Eddie Thorpe. He grabs him, throws him up against, tells him to get the hell out of here. Shawn snapped. He put his hands on a talent, but he was defending Ava. What is going on?
Well, I mean, maybe Eddie Thorpe wasn't supposed to grab Ava. Maybe he went off script. Maybe Shawn Michaels is actually pissed. Maybe Shawn Michaels wants to get in the ring again. Maybe Shawn Michaels wants to tune up a little sweet chin music. Maybe Eddie Thorpe's going to eat a fucking boot. Maybe Eddie Thorpe's going to go down for the 1, 2, 3.
Probably not that part. Probably not that part. But yeah, it was very
seriously
interesting.
though. Anything Shawn Mike, like you don't see Shawn Michaels on screen a lot, so I mean it's fun when he does appear on screen, and that was fun.
The last
and
appearance
awesome
he had was with Lexus King, I think. Or no. It was Brooks Jensen.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's right. It was actually.
It was Brooks. NXT Championship.
Nonetheless, Eddie Thorpe's eating a rock bottom on Tuesday.
If The Rock shows up on NXT, holy.
Even Trick is about to allude to it here.
I mean, yeah. Does he?
He does. He says, we all know who her bloodline is.
Yes, he does. He better be careful. Oh, yeah, that's what he said. Trick comes out, updates us on Ava, says, I'm doing this off of memory, says she'll be fine, though. It's in her blood. We know who her blood is. Boom, boom, boom. But he calls out Ridge Holland and says he's disgusted. And I'll be read a little bit, but I have a comment about this. Felt disgusted by Ridge Holland's actions and said he would not let Holland become NXT champion because if he won the title, NXT would die. Ridge Holland comes out to confront Williams. Pause there. What is Trick's problem? Okay. Ridge was put in the match with Andre Chase. You beat Andre Chase, you get a title shot, and Andre Chase and Chase U is done. He's a bad guy because he beat Andre Chase. It's his job. He needed to win the match to get a title shot. Why is that a bad guy?
We should all take a moment, breathe, and admit that somebody needs to step in and tell Andre Chase he has a gambling problem.
He has a problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right?
Don't think that's the actual number, people.
I think it is, actually. Hold on. Because I used to say it all the time on our radio show. Yeah, 1-800-GAMBLER.
That sounds like a place to go gambling.
1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling addiction, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so they're about to argue, but here's another surprise for you. Eric Bischoff appears on the Titantron and says he will be appearing next week. What?
Yeah, that was random as fuck.
Just out of nowhere. Hold on. I'm gonna shout out to Wrestling Headlines. They full transcript, by the way. Eric Bischoff appears saying, "Oh my god, I'm on the wrong week, guys." Take it away. What do you think of Eric Bischoff appearing?
What's happening? On the spot. I thought it was awesome. There's my color commentary.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Eric Bischoff.
If you don't know who Eric Bischoff is, I don't know why you're even watching us.
Out of nowhere, Ridge comes out and says, Trick, 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 don't touch me. You're damn right. It's going to die. And Trick, I don't care. Wherever I go, controversy follows me. Eric Bischoff appears on the Titantron. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Guys, just hang on a second. Now, Trick, you're right. Things have been very chaotic in NXT, and I enjoy it. Next week, I want to get a closer look because... Wait, what? Yeah, but next week, I want to get a closer look because next week I'm coming to NXT. Ridge, you want the NXT title so bad?
Thank
Trick,
God
you want to keep it, right?
That sentence. Yeah, stop there.
Well, you're going to find out how bad. What makes you guys tick? And if you think tensions are high right now, by the time I'm done, you guys are going to want to destroy each other before deadline. Hell, what? Oh, this is not on them. This is on me. I can't read, apparently. By the time I'm done with you guys, you're going to want to destroy each other at deadline. Hell, maybe right there in the ring. See you next week. So is Bischoff going to be in ring moderating here? Is that what it seems like?
I don't know.
But still,
maybe he'll come in and start writing for NXT and help them reach the levels of WCW.
I don't think they need that at all, to be honest with you.
They don't need that at all. Wild, random, completely random. Like, who would have thought? Did you have Eric Bischoff showing up on NXT on your 2024 wrestling bingo card?
No. I did not. I didn't even have. I mean, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray made sense because the ECW thing, but that was still kind of like whoa. But now it's like, okay, Eric Bischoff's here. Um, it let's carry on. And this gets better. Next week on NXT, Red Sinclair will be in the Last Chance Fatal 4-Way match against Kalani Jordan, Cora Jade, and Jada Parker. And then right before we get to the main event match, X-Pac's going to appear on NXT next week too.
And remember, what was it? Probably like 4 or 5 episodes ago, I had in my news that Kevin Nash said on his podcast that he will probably be showing up on an NXT episode in December sometime.
It's December sometime.
Okay, cool. What comes to mind when you hear Eric Bischoff, X-Pac, and Kevin Nash?
The NWO, brother.
Okay, cool.
Hulk Hogan will probably be there too.
I mean, he could be.
Imagine if you just Eric Bischoff comes out. Even though I do want him to come out to "I'm back." I'm back.
Well, he comes out to that, and then all of a sudden he goes record scratch.
You know.
That makes you wish Razor Ramon was still alive.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Main event time. NXT Women's North American Championship on the line. Fallon Henley defending.
I'm the bad guy.
Against Tatum Paxley. Fallon's going to pick up the win with a little bit of a help. Tatum kind of avoided the interference, but it gave enough time for Fallon to hit the Famouser for the 1, 2, 3 fatal influence. Tried to attack Tatum after the match. But who was it that picked up that red-headed doll earlier in the show? It was none other than a returning Gigi Dolan. Dolan stands side by side with Tatum to end the broadcast. This was really cool just because of the past of JC Jane and Gigi running together. There's that. And it's just Gigi's back. What do you think of the match and the return?
Fantastic match. Tatum Paxley's great. I still don't. I still can't get behind Fallon Henley, man. I don't buy it. Not for a second of her being a heel. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
But Tatum Paxley, fantastic. I think she's got a very, very bright future in the business. But Gigi, man, Gigi's back. Too bad I don't think we're ever going to get the end of the Ariana finishing school storyline.
Ariana hurt. I don't know what's going on with Ariana Grace.
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about that, but the beauty school thing. I think they scrapped that. They were like, all right.
They did.
This is Gigi. This ain't.
I think they were trying to find a way to keep Gigi on TV while she was injured, and then just said,
maybe. All right, well, that's a wrap on NXT. What do you think of NXT?
I mean, can you have a 10-star show, a 10 out of 10?
So here's what I want to say. This is how I know it was a good show. We watched it later. RK came back from work. He was a bit tired, but exhausted. NXT wrapped, and he looked into the camera and he goes, I'm like wide awake now. They did that.
Yeah,
it was a really, really good NXT. With that being said, up next is AEW Dynamite, followed by SmackDown. We'll be right back on the Top Rope Renegades This Week in Wrestling podcast here in just a second. Welcome back to the Top Rope Renegades, episode number 31 with Kurt and RK. It's time to talk about SmackDown. If you care to worry about what happened on Dynamite, go ahead and read the dirt sheets or go watch it. I don't have the time to do it. We have an extra show added to this week, and that is Survivor Series. So I'm not going to waste my breath talking about Dynamite. If you care that much, go watch it. If not, don't care. Alrighty. SmackDown from November 29th. We kick things off with Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Io Sky coming to the ring for their promos, where Rhea said no one would be able to stop them at the Women's War Games match, with Naomi guaranteeing the team of Nia, Jax, Candice LeRae, Tiffany Stratton, and the Judgment Days, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez would get what they deserve, and Io bowing to destroy them. Jax, LeRae, Stratton, and Judgment Day interrupt, with Jax trying to boil tensions between Bayley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair before Liv Morgan started speculating that Bayley may have been the culprit of Jade Cargill's injury. The two teams went into an intense brawl at the ramp before Jason Jordan, Petey Williams, Jamie Noble, and an army of security guards separated them. What did you think of the opening of SmackDown?
That was good shit, man. Right off the hop. They could have really done a better job to set this up with such little time of the teams coming together and all the changes and everything with Jade Cargill and whatnot. This is just, trying to Liv Morgan trying to set some little seeds of doubt in the other team's minds and all that stuff and coming through. But I mean, really, this is just setting up a brawl of just a bunch of mismatched teams put together, honestly. And they did a fantastic job of doing it because really, honestly, when you look at the teams, none of this should work, but it works.
It did. It worked pretty well. Up next, Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Andrade with a Kinshasa. After the match, LA Knight comes out to confront Nakamura, but Nakamura steps out of the way of LA Knight and spits the black mist in
one
his eyes.
of the slickest mist shots ever.
Just a slide back and boom, right in the face. It was clean. It was clean. What do you think of Shinsuke and Andrade, though?
Shinsuke is so good. He really is. And Andrade is fantastic, too. I mean, the fact that Nakamura's come back and they're not just making him a joke right off the hop, which they easily could have done and they have done it in the past. Like, why was he going after, what was the feud? Seth Rollins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, nothing came out of that. They just had him,
gave
him all these stories. Was it
Cody?
Seth?
Cody.
Was it Cody? It was Cody, yeah.
It's Cody.
Back in January and February there, and you're just like going, well, cool, you're giving him all these promos and everything, but then you just have him lose. Like, I get it. It's Cody Rhodes. Of course he's going to lose, but why even give him kind of a story behind it just to lose? They're doing it again, but now he's winning. So.
The Bloodline, Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongalo, and Jacob Fatu are talking backstage before Nick Aldis confronts them and announced that everyone was banned from ringside in the main event match tonight between Jay and Jacob Fatu. DIY are arguing backstage regarding Gargano's relationship with Motor City Machine Guns' Alex Shelley, and Tommaso said, "You have 1 week to figure it out how we get our titles back. If not, I will be taking it into my own hands." You hinted at it earlier when we were talking about NXT and the change of talent from Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and Triple H was a big proponent of the Blackheart gimmick that Tommaso Ciampa had in NXT, and it seems we're getting shades of that. I'm excited and hope it does happen. What do you think of this segment and that?
Well, let's see what Gargano's play in this whole thing is, honestly.
That's fair.
Ciampa's intentions are very well known, but what is Gargano going to do? Gargano can be a fantastic heel. But where this is going, I just don't see him making that turn. But maybe he does. It's interesting. It's awesome because you can't really pinpoint exactly which way this story is going to go.
It's very similar to almost when Candice and Indy when Candice was doing heel Candice stuff and Indy was like not cool with it. And then out of nowhere, Indy was like, "No, I'm cool with it." Turkey with Candice.
It's a little better than that, but anyways.
It was the dumbed down version. We get a vignette from Kevin Owens where he explains why he is right in his ways, showing video evidence of the Bloodline taking him out on 3 separate occasions. That the Bloodline took him out, and every time he got up, as an explanation of why he felt frustrated by Cody and his actions of teaming with Roman Reigns. He vowed to turn the American Nightmare to the Canadian Dream. Or did I say that wrong? Was it the Canadian Nightmare to the Canadian Dream? Whatever. But yeah, the Canadian Dream was going to become of him come Saturday night's main event. This Kevin Owens we have now is the best. It's so good.
Kevin Owens is on fire.
Yep.
He is old school.
Yeah, that's true.
He blends shoot, works, kayfabe, real all together so well. He's so good. Kevin Owens is fantastic. I love everything that's going on with this right now. And honestly, I think it'll be a huge disservice to the whole story and everything that's going on if Kevin Owens doesn't beat Cody Rhodes.
I don't think we got a couple more SmackDowns till Saturday night's main event. But
Cody can't just hold on to the title forever. He's not fucking Roman Reigns, for fuck's sakes. Give him some fucking some
adversity. Got you. I mean, I see what you're saying. Cody is better chasing the title.
I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying that
we don't want another
Roman Reigns. Every match, you're just like, Cody's not losing. Cody's not losing. Cody's not losing.
This one's different. This one's different, I think. I hope. I kind of want Kevin Owens to win.
I want Kevin Owens to win. I think it creates a fucking hell of a story.
Yeah. Up next, the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes is defending. Yeah, he's defending. Taking on Carmelo Hayes. He's going to pick up the win with the Crossroads, but man, I thought this was a really, really good match. Good showing from Carmelo. What did you think of the match here?
It started slowly. I was like, yeah, but then it picked up and they really fucking killed it. Carmelo Hayes, he's good. He's good.
And Cody,
you don't need to question if Cody Rhodes is good, but Carmelo, he's good.
Yep. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and CM Punk have a sit-down meeting ahead of the men's war game match at Survivor Series. Punk is a bit late, but then continues.
You know what that says? Punk shows up when he wants to show up.
Punk clarifies a couple times throughout this, few times really. He's only there to help Paul Heyman and him only. Reigns resents Punk's attitude and clarified he does not like it or him and does not want to team with him. However, Paul Heyman specifies that they need Punk to team with them, but emphasized that if the OG bloodline fall, Punk was next on the bloodlines list. Heyman specified that divided they would fall, but united they would survive. Punk said that if they survive War Games, he was all ears in revisiting this conversation with Reigns and specified that Paul Heyman would owe him a favor later on, saying words like, "our wise man." Reigns tries to ask what the favor is, but Heyman said to Reigns to get through War Games first and they will clarify after. What did you think of the conversation segment between these three gentlemen?
How can it be bad?
Right.
It can't be bad.
No. Nope. It was good. It was good shit. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's the best way to describe it.
Punk is just so fucking good.
Next was the Women's United States Tournament Championship first round match, triple threat. Piper Niven, Lash Legend, replacing Jade Cargill, and Michin taking on each other, and the correct person wins here. Michin is going to pick up the win with a senton on Piper Niven. She will go on to the next round of the Women's United States Championship Tournament. What'd you think of the match and the outcome?
Lash Legend continues to look like she belongs on the main roster. Yeah. Her power is ridiculous. Picking up Niven and doing that shit with her is wild. Michin, though, man, I mean, if it's not her or Chelsea winning the United States title, that's a fucking travesty in itself. And I'm highly torn on who I think should win it because I love Chelsea, but I do love Michin too. So, I mean,
yeah.
Where do you go with it? Either one winning is a huge win in my books, but I just think Chelsea can really do something with that title if she wins. I think her ego is already fantastic as it is, and that the title would just be a little icing on the cake to it, and would just give her free reign to even be more Chelsea grain.
Yeah.
But Michin winning too, she deserves to win it because she is such a workhorse and is such a fantastic wrestler. And in other words, I'm saying Chelsea wins it. She's the character to carry the title. as a character, but Misha winning it, she's the fighter to carry the title. So you can't go wrong. If it's not either of those two, it's a fucking mistake.
Yeah, the only other option is Bayley. And what did we say? What did we weirdly predict who the final might be?
Oh yeah, Bayley versus
Naomi.
Bayley versus Naomi, which would just be stupid.
Agreed. United States champion LA Knight was interviewed by Byron Saxton as he's getting his eyes cleaned out. He said it doesn't matter. He would still beat Shinsuke Nakamura despite having blurry vision. We'll see.
A little foreshadowing.
Nick Aldis speaks to Jey Uso, Jimmy, and Sammy, saying everyone is barred from ringside for this main event match. Men's War Game Advantage match, Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso. Jacob Fatu is going to pick up the win here, clean over Jey with a moonsault. What'd you think of the match? And Jacob getting the clean win.
Yeah, I mean, beating an Uso in your first singles match in WWE is a big thing. And to do it clean is another big thing. And Jacob's a beast, and taking nothing away from Jey, I mean, they put on a great match, but Jacob's just when this whole I mean, if Jacob breaks away from the bloodline at some point, or whatever happens with now Solo losing the tribal chief title and everything, what happens? Jacob could go out on his own and wreck shop.
Yes, it's very interesting. You got to tune into SmackDown. I want to see where things go, especially coming out of Survivor Series. Well, with I guess that being said, I think it's time to talk about Survivor Series. Maybe I can have a different graphic up for this. What do you think? Let's go with this one. We'll get a different graphic loaded in. Before we break it all down, what was your expectations heading into Survivor Series?
What do you mean?
Were you excited for it? Were you looking forward to it? Where were you at leaning into it? If you didn't know, we went live, by the way, on the channel. We're going to try and go live for pay-per-views, big pay-per-views like that going forward if we can, and if at all possible. Maybe difficult during the summer with work, but during the winter, why not? But yeah, what was your expectations? Where did you think the event was going to go? Was it going to be a banger? Was it going to be awesome? What do you think? I'm just asking questions here. If you would like to decline to answer, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I'm not going to decline to answer. I just want to know what you want from me. Like, what do I expect going in?
I don't know to answer the question. Oh my God.
I'm expecting to go in to watch a fucking wrestling show and be entertained. That's my expectations of every wrestling show. Do we always get it? No. What were my specific expectations on each match? I was extremely excited for the Gunther Damian Priest match because they built it up so well. And the Bloodline fucking match coming up, saying, will CM Punk be a factor? Will he not be a factor? Is CM Punk going to walk out on them if he's not? Like, I was wondering what was going to happen there, so they built up the suspense to that perfectly. Of course, Vince Russo said, there's no fucking story there. Well, there is, you fucking moron. There is a story there. Figure it out. I mean, hence, I think WCW really went downhill when Vince Russo showed up, so figure it out there too, bud. Nonetheless, yeah, fantastic. Could I have really cared less about the women's War Games match? Yeah, probably. Could have cared a little less about it. I could have cared a lot more about it too. I was kind of in the middle on that one. The only thing I was really interested in see what would Rhea do, and could she actually, be effective with her recent injury and everything, and where were they going to go with that? And I was pleasantly surprised. And the other two matches, the triple threat, I mean, whatever. We all knew Braun was going to win. I wanted to see if Ludwig could hold up in a match against, a legend like Sheamus and a beast like Braun, and he absolutely did. And then the Shinsuke match, I wanted him to win. I wanted to go in. I wanted to see them pull the trigger on it because I think we talked about in the pre-show how much I think that there's a story there that can be told, and it can only be told if LA Knights loses the title. And we'll get to that recap here shortly. So, yeah, I just went through my expectations on that show. Is that what you wanted from me?
You did really good there. Good job.
All right, cool.
You deserve a raise, my friend. Looking through, what's funny about going to WWE pay-per-views and recapping them, it actually is going to take less time than the weekly shows, because with this is we're not getting any. We are, but we're not getting any, promos and good stuff like that. We're just getting the matches, the matches itself. We can talk about what happened in them, anything that stood out, of course. We open things up with the women's War Games match, and before I go to it, if you want to see our legit reactions to the full show, I will link the video, the reaction we had throughout the
And
night.
you can basically start watching the pay-per-view right at the start of the show.
Yeah. There's moments where you'll hear cues from me also, saying who's coming to the, coming down the ring. Once you link up, you'll understand. I say whose entrance is happening and whatnot. You'll see RK in his car on his way home because he was running behind because for some reason he was pissed at the start time, which I get it.
Who starts a fucking prime time pay-per-view show at 3:00 in the afternoon?
Yeah, it's fair. We open things up with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Naomi taking on the heel team of Nia Jax, Tiffy Stratton, Candice LeRae, and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. The baby faces pick up the win here with an avalanche riptide through a table for Rhea Ripley onto Liv Morgan. There's your winners. What in this match stood out to you? What spots? Obviously, I will just say one, Io Sky in the trash can. But other than that, what else you got?
I mean, the Rhea Ripley, the mask gear that she was wearing was fucking cool as hell. And then
created by the person that created all of Bray Wyatt's stuff. By the way, he posted that he was one behind
that's not even shocking at all.
I want it to be shocking. It was just information.
Well, I'm just saying that makes perfect sense. I'm
You could have
agreeing
said
with
that.
you.
You could have said that, but the other way you said it, you sounded like a dickhead, and you were like mad at me for some reason. I don't know what I've done to you, but I apologize. I'm sorry.
You need to, dig deep in yourself and realize that not everything's an attack on you.
I'm gonna do some soul searching after this podcast.
Anyways, the headgear was fantastic, and then when she pulled it off and the war paint, I was like, ooh,
yeah,
like fucking Mad Max vibes. Max vibes.
I said Kratos.
Mad Max vibes for me,
Yeah.
but Rhea is, you got to see her dedication to the business, because I mean, orbital bone fracture is a pretty decent injury, and for her to go out there and risk hurting herself more is fantastic.
Saw something that is going to trigger and irritate you because it irritated me. People were dogging Rhea Ripley in this match. They said, why are we booking Rhea Ripley like this? Why does she have to over blah blah blah? They were calling her Rhea Hogan, because, or sorry, it was Rhea Cena, and because they were talking about the spot when she got in and Liv beat her down with the baseball bat.
Yeah.
And I think the comment was, well, even Hogan or Cena would have stayed down after that. I swear to God, this was real, and it pissed me off. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You don't like Rhea Ripley that much that you're like, oh, she got beat down with a baseball bat, so she should be nowhere around in the match, the rest of the match. And that and they were criticizing this, saying, how was she able, she should have sold that more. She hit that avalanche riptide through the table, and that just didn't make sense to me, because she got beat down with the bat and the ribs pretty bad, and she just no-selling it like she's Hogan. Wow. Is what I said. Wow.
Do these people not understand what wrestling is?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because jumping off the top of cage in a trash can makes complete perfect sense. But, let's focus on Rhea Ripley being dominant, because she's probably the top woman star in the world right now. But whatever.
Exactly. Up next, the
John Cena being over, and you bring up John Cena being overbooked in his career. Well, they're going to dedicate an entire fucking year to him. You want to know why? Because he is probably in the conversation of the GOAT.
Yep.
So, and when Rhea Ripley's done her career, she'll be in conversation of being the GOAT.
Yep. WWE United States Championship match. LA Knight defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. It was in my eyes, a fairly quicker match than I thought it was going to be. But Shinsuke picks up the win. He is the new United States champion. It was the title change that I didn't think was coming. We did our predictions video. RK predicted it correctly. I said my heart wants Shinsuke to win. My head's telling me to go LA Knight. My head was wrong. I should go with my heart because Shinsuke's going to pick up the win here. What'd you think of the match?
Surprisingly good given how short of a match it was.
Short, man. Okay, yeah.
I mean, it was under 10 minutes. 9 minutes, 41 seconds. That being said, taking the title off LA Knight doesn't hurt LA Knight here. If you think it does, and you don't understand wrestling. All this does is create one hell of a feud moving into WrestleMania season.
Yep.
You could have this run for the next 3 to 4 months until WrestleMania, and it will work. Yeah. LA Knight is gonna be hell bent on getting that title back, and Shinsuke is gonna do all the dirty shit to keep that title until it's time to make the flip again. I think the flip happens. LA Knight wins it back, and I'm hoping it's at WrestleMania. But in the meantime, it's going to be this feud has potential to be one of the best feuds rolling into WrestleMania. It seriously does.
Agreed. WWE Intercontinental Championship triple threat match. Braun Breaker defending against Sheamus and Ludwig. Pausing.
True Classic shirts. Otis.
It's not in my rundown here. Yeah,
best part of the fucking show.
Wow. Yeah, True Classic shirts had a nice advertisement on the show with the Alpha Academy. Otis was handed one, put it on, walked out, and felt very comfortable, looked great.
That's a great shirt. We need to find you some pants.
As he walks off with no pants on, they blurred out the bottom part region. An ode to Mike Tyson.
So good.
You said it.
I was pretty good.
It. The triple threat match, Intercontinental Championship on the line. Breaker defending against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. Braun Breaker is going to retain after hitting a spear on Ludwig and then a spear on Sheamus. This was what we expected, a hard-hitting match. And for those of you that didn't see it during the live stream, this was Sheamus's back after the match. Ludwig took a shillelagh schlacken to his back.
Those were not pulled shots. Those were Ludwig was wailing on him. Yep. Sheamus is anybody knows anything about wrestling is some guys work stiff and they love to work stiff.
Yep.
Jericho was one of those guys. I think he still is one of those guys. There was a feud back in WWE between Jericho and I want to say Kurt Angle, and they had a rule in their matches like hit as hard as you can, just don't hit the face.
Yeah.
And beyond that, you can do whatever you want. And some guys just like with stiff. And Sheamus, bravo, because I'm sure before the match he said, "Hey, when we get to that spot, fucking go at it.
Don't hold back. Hit me."
And it looked good. It looked fantastic. And this match was exactly what it was meant to be. It was hard hitting, fast paced. Great camera work. That near fall where Ludwig pulled Sheamus off of Braun. Oh,
yeah. Or the ref pull. Wow. Very close finishes. Braun Breaker retains. Yeah, great match. We knew Braun was going to win that one. You weren't taking the title off of him again that quick. World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther defending against Damian Priest. Gunther is going to retain his title here with a sleeper hold. I guess you could call it win via referee stoppage. Win via submission, whatever you call it. During the match, Finn Balor attacked Damian Priest by hitting a coup de grace from the ring steps onto him while the referee was distracted. Gunther hit a big boot to Finn Balor due to the unwelcome interference, but proceeded to lock in the sleeper hold on Priest for the win. I said I didn't like Balor's interference. RKU do. I just didn't like it because I thought it wasn't necessarily needed. Your ideology as it is, go ahead and explain.
How is it not needed? How do you... Damian Priest was never beating Gunther. Wasn't happening.
Okay.
That's not the time to do it.
Why
does Survivor Series?
Why does Finn have to come out?
Because how do you get Finn and Damian back on a story? Because that story is apparently over.
Easily. You do it on Monday Night Raw. You could do it on Raw.
Does it have the same effect if Finn Balor is not the reason why Damian Priest is did not win the championship?
In your eyes, sure, it doesn't, but it would have an effect either way. If you go to Monday Night Raw and Finn and them cross paths, and he's like, just laughing, he couldn't even get it done, and I didn't even have to do anything this time. You know, there's ways you could do it.
No, that's going to get Damian Priest to go off.
Just because you're right in your eyes does not mean I'm wrong. And just because I'm right in my eyes does not mean you're wrong.
Don't try to make this fucking.
It's an opinion.
No,
it's an
it's
opinion.
not.
It's
I'm
an
sorry.
opinion.
You not liking it and thinking it wasn't like Finn actually. Damian was losing.
Okay, then why?
Damian was.
Let him lose. Let him lose clean.
Now you get this fucking no, sorry.
The
Nope.
only thing I like about this, the only thing I like about Finn making an appearance is that Gunther kicked him in the head.
Yeah, because it's Gunther going, I don't need fucking help.
It's Gunther going, sure, he doesn't need help, but it also is adding, okay, well, maybe Finn has a stake to claim for this title now, and maybe Finn can get involved in the world titles.
I don't think that's where this is going at all.
Okay, that's your opinion, RK.
Well, how many times have I been right over the last month and a half here?
You've been right over an educated wish.
Doesn't make it any less true that I've been right multiple times.
Yeah, I've been right in the past too. You don't see me running around waving a flag.
Well, I mean, I will because I've been doing it consistently.
I don't predict things.
Well, maybe you should, and then you could have this argument with me.
What did you think of the match?
Oh, this was a fantastic match. Fantastic.
Hit.
People may say it was a little long. People might say it was slow. People say it's boring. Obviously, you've never watched a Gunther match before, and if you can't respect the style that Gunther wrestles, then you probably only started watching wrestling in the last 10 years, or you only ever watched New Japan. Gunther is an old school wrestler. He is slow, methodical, picks apart his opponents. He's smart. He's Rain IQ is beyond belief. He knows how to hurt people, and he picks people apart. He pinpoints their weaknesses and he uses it to his advantage. And then the nice thing about having Priest in this match is Priest is a big power hitting dude too, but he can move, so he can use his speed to trip up Gunther, and it's a chess match. It's whose style will win out over the other style, and yeah, I don't know how I can't understand how anybody thinks Gunther matches are boring. They're not. You just got to look at it differently. Not every match can be a fucking flippy flip Will Ospreay fucking match.
Can I make a devil's advocate thing? Because I totally agree with you, but I'm gonna try. Zack Sabre Jr. matches are very slow and methodical too.
Yeah, but none of that shit looks like it hurts.
There's the difference. Good call. Good difference. Yeah, Gunther retains.
I can roll around with a dude on a ring for 30 minutes too and pretend to put fucking holds on that don't look like they do anything.
You got a point. Men's war game match, main event. The OG
Gunther fucking big old chop across the chest. I'm guessing that fucking hurts.
OG Bloodline, Road Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn, as well as the Second City Saint, CM Punk, taking on the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and Bronson Reed. The babyfaces get the win. Just going to put that out there now. The babyfaces get the win, and the stories that were told throughout this match were fun, and it was a good watch from... really, the biggest story was Roman and CM Punk. How will they work together? And yeah, I'll let you take it. What were your favorite moments from the
right off the hop? Fucking Punk fucking grabbing for Bronson in the cage.
Somebody said, I don't think that was a part of the script, and that's what makes this even better.
Bronson did look like motherfucker.
The hell, dude. It was
good shit, Punk's just so good. And then the cage, the Punk and Roman in the cage, the Roman stopping Punk, and
Punk was gonna go out.
Roman.
Punk was gonna go out, and Roman stopped him to let Sammy go out. And then let me see if I can get this picture pulled up quickly. but there was the moment where they were like, both in the cage and just like looking at each other. Yeah, I got it right here. And
oh yeah, this will be a meme. This will be a meme for everything.
This picture is a meme, the one that I'm uploading right now. I sent it to you. There you go. That's they were not making eye contact with each other at all.
It was good shit. Just the little mind games there, but the match itself, man, what a fucking match! Everybody,
even Tongaloa,
everybody. It was violent. It was high paced. Plenty of narrative callbacks to everyone involved. Man,
handshake,
the
handshake, Jimmy and Sammy. And did you look in the background as Jay's laying on the ground and they're doing the handshake? You can see Jay laying there in the background like this and just going.
And then in the end, even Roman still showing, hey, Solo, you can come back.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen there. All the super kicks and
everybody hitting their finishers. The fact that CM Punk could GTS Solo.
Yeah.
I was worried that he wasn't going to be able, because there was the first one where he tried to toss and it didn't work. He's like,
oh, shit. Got it.
But
Roman also speared Punk in this match, too. We need to not go away from that. Yeah. Roman, they were both doing a spear GTS combo. Solo moved out the way of the spear to Punk, and then you thought, okay, well, what's going to happen? We talked about it in the news. Bronson Reed from the top onto Roman through a table. Punk at the very last second pulled Roman out of the way. They shook hands.
Yeah, Jacob fought too, man.
He's incredible. He is incredible. Yeah. I hope there's a singles run coming here now with Jacob after this. I don't know.
I want to see what they do with. I mean, it's not over. We're only in the 5th inning now. Like, Solo's not done.
No.
Solo's not done. Tamatonga, Tongaloa's not done. Jacob's not done. Fucking
Bronson Reed's still around.
Bronson Reed's still there.
Well, injury permitting.
Nonetheless, like,
it was a really good match. Really good stories. The shaking of the hands. And I'll tell you what, WWE did a good job. Triple H, you did a good job here. There were rumors, people, myself included, and a lot of people on the internet thinking The Rock's going to make an appearance. He didn't.
I didn't. What did I say?
You said he wouldn't.
Yeah.
You and a group of people. Okay, good job. What would you have done if he would have showed up? I'm not going to come on the show and be like, I'm right all the time.
I would have been like, the streak's over, boys. The streak's over.
I got to start predicting stuff to break the streak. Just go against everything you say. No, that's not going to happen. Even though I may agree with it. He didn't. But they did this weird thing where, like, they kept that camera rolling all the way out the cage as they go up the ramp. And then, did you notice Punk went to the back?
Yeah,
and then came back out to get the final picture.
He had to get in there.
Yeah, he stepped in front to get to the front. Yeah, it made you think, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Nothing happened. Nothing crazy. Yeah, what an ending to Survivor Series. I see people on the internet are not happy with it. They didn't like Survivor Series this year. I did. I enjoyed Survivor Series.
All the people that you read that didn't like Survivor Series this year are AW neckbeards.
Yeah, most likely.
It's fucking trolls. That show was entertaining. The women's match was probably the worst part of that entire show, and that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, agreed. That's a wrap. That's a wrap on all the results and recaps. Before we go,
and also one last thing, right off the hop. Oh, Botchamania is gonna have fun with this women's match right off the hop. It's like, fuck off. Do we just watch wrestling and pick it apart now? Whatever happened to just watching wrestling for fun?
We need to do more of that. We did
plenty of that.
We actually did. We had a good time.
Only time we pick stuff apart is AEW, which sucks.
And we don't watch it anymore for that reason.
Exactly.
With that being said, that's a wrap on everything. Before we go, of course, What, RK, is your show of the week?
NXT.
Yeah, NXT, without a doubt. I know we say we can include pay-per-views in this. I do think NXT, for some reason, had me more Did it have me more captivated than Survivor Series?
I was more captivated by Survivor Series, but NXT, just the moments, the what the fuck is going on in NXT right now?
If we're doing just show of the week, weekly shows, NXT. If we're gonna throw Survivor Series in the mix, it's hard not to say Survivor Series. But I'm gonna go with NXT with the, as you just said, the what the fuck is happening factor. Do you have a wrestler of the week?
Gotta give Shinsuke. I gotta give Shinsuke some love.
Okay. I'm gonna give some love, and we just rang his praises a bunch. Jacob Fatu. He had a fantastic match with Jay on SmackDown, and he showed out at WarGames. So Jacob Fatu for me. Shinsuke's a good one though. Shinsuke had a great match on SmackDown and United States champion. Well, I think that's a wrap. That's a wrap here. Episode 31 of the Top Rope Renegades This Week in Wrestling podcast. We will be back Saturday night, most likely. Live stream.
Oh yeah, Deadline
NXT
live stream.
Deadline. We will go live for Deadline. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, didn't even think of that. Look forward to that Saturday night. NXT Deadline. We'll know more about the final slots of the Iron Survivor and all that good stuff on NXT Tuesday. Tune in.
The last chance matches. Let's go.
Tune in to the Go Home show for Deadline on NXT this week. It is going
NXT's gonna pop off this week, people. NXT is gonna be fire.
Looking forward to that. With that being said, it is time to roll out. We'll cue the outro video. I am Kurt. That is RK. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Top Rope Renegade.